Okay, you know what? I don't know why I always put this countdown. There's no point. We'll just get started.
We're on. Look at that. We jumped the gun, everybody.
We're live, right? I think we're live.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Toy Duo. As you can see, sitting on the screen is Usual Mike. And you can get him at, let's see, I got your link in here somewhere. It's actually Usual Mike Television. At Usual Mike Television. Now, was that purposeful or was Usual Mike already taken?
No. In high school, I wanted my own television station. The Usual Mike part was always my nickname.
Oh, okay.
It comes from that movie, The Usual Suspects. And
Yes.
I also refer it back to being an average Joe. I'm just a usual Mike, just the same. Yeah, nice. No one special, just me.
So how was that? How was your ambition to get a television station going? Is that still one of your focuses? Do you still think that's going to happen, or do you think television stations are out and the internet is out?
YouTube channels are in. There was no YouTube channels when I was in high school.
Well, you just dated yourself.
Yeah. Oh, in my country, pay television or cable TV came in 1995, and my family was one of the first 500. So I was like, I've got to own my own channel. I'm going to have my own channel one day. You know, it's like some sort of, the whole channel will be all like public access. You know, I can put whatever I want on it. I've got a YouTube channel. I can do that now.
That's right.
We all can.
Who needs a TV station? I remember watching Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater. It was a movie in the 80s or 90s or whatever, 90s, I think. But he had like a pirate radio station. And he used to broadcast, and all the kids in the high school would drive to like the football field to listen to his show at night. And then during the show, it was like the FCC or whatever was trying to triangulate him and find his radio station or something. I think I got the name of the show right. Somebody in the chat will correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes I say stuff, but I'm not 100% on that. But I think it was called Pump Up the Volume. Christian Slater, I know was in it.
I saw a skateboarding movie that A Gleam in the Cube. I remember that movie. That's another old one. Yeah, Pump Up the Volume. I've heard the name. I've never seen the movie. I gotta check that out.
Okay, so this is the Toy Duo. This is where we talk about action figures, pop culture, TV, whatever comes to mind. And sometimes we get off on some tangents and we never come back to what the original topic was. I also want to tell you guys that I do have memberships on the channel. They're available now. You can click on the button and join. And as I'm talking about that, what I want to do is point out that Gilster37 has joined to become a channel member, and I want to thank you very much for doing that. If I sound like I got like a little bit of a head cold, I do. I'm battling. I think it's a couple of the last days, so if I sound kind of funny, that's why. It's not on purpose, so I apologize for the little bit of congestion. My doctor did tell me, though, that the cure for a head cold are new channel members and super chats.
That's brilliant.
Oh my gosh. Ask questions. If you're in the chat, just ask questions and comment. Usual Mike will probably never come around again after spending a couple of hours with me. So this is your opportunity to ask him questions and find out what he's doing in Australia, right?
Yeah, I only rolled out of bed like half an hour ago, so it's just what is it, 10:06 in the morning here.
Oh my gosh. So it's 1 o'clock here on the West Coast in the US. It's 4 o'clock on the East Coast. Okay. And it should be 8 o'clock in Europe or UK, but they have some sort of like a summertime clock thing where they just arbitrarily push their clocks an extra hour. So I believe it's 9 p.m. there. And then it's 6 a.m. in Australia. So I did want to point out, like, Sonny is here, and I'm guessing he's in the same time zone as you, because I think he's down under now.
Yeah, but 4 a.m. here. Oh, yeah. That means you're in Perth?
I am. Oh, okay.
Maybe on the other side of the country. Yeah.
Time zones. Anyways, so Geek Strong says, hey, everyone, I heard Verna's giving away toys. Giving toys away to the first person in the chat. What do I win? I'm going to draw you a superhero, cut it out of a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to mail it to you, and you could play with it as a paper action figure. I don't know where he heard that. He's just making stuff up. But I am going to have a channel member giveaway coming up pretty soon. I haven't done that in a while, and I just have to figure out what I'm going to do. If it's going to be a custom figure, if it's going to be kind of a new figure, or if it's going to be something else. We'll see what that's going to be. Probably going to be just a new figure, new in the box. Let's say hello to Jonathan Redmond. He's joined us. Evening all. Would this show have been on earlier if action points were used? Sir Eric Brown is joined us. Hello. I know he's busy with the new baby. Oh, if he has to. Left Coast Graphics says, happy you got Vernified. That's guys drawing pictures of everybody who comes on the show. So on the channel logo, you got your.
Yes, everyone's been Vernified. There they are.
Yeah.
It's the crew.
Brian Meyer says he thought he was late. Super John is telling a story in the back room. Super John is probably at home asleep. He said he was going to be here, but we haven't seen him yet. I did send him the link. I think. Hey, Brandon. Apprentice Ewok has joined us.
Hey, Brandon.
Gerard Kane. G-Force Racing. Hello to everyone. Let's see. Rolando. Are you driving today, Rolando? Mod Extra Games. All right, dudes. Yes, he's the one that corrected me on the summertime in the UK time zone. They got their own time zone in the UK.
British summertime.
Yeah.
British summertime.
Yeah. Something like that. Let's see. I'm looking for. So everybody's saying hi to each other. I don't want to miss anybody. If I skip over, I'm never going to hear the end of it because I barely leave the chat up long enough anyways. Sunny saying, yeah, it's 4 a.m.
Nice and early.
9 p.m. Yeah, see, Mod Extra Games is giving me the 9 p.m. Ain't complaining. Okay, let's see. Is Mike in his Chewy cosplay jammies?
Did you notice? Yeah, I wear this woolly jumper. It's winter here, by the way. Yeah, look. All I need is a big hat and a cane. I'm a pimp. It's a hoodie. It's a hoodie, and it looks like Chewy. Yeah, very warm.
JT is here. Josh is here. Mopar McNear.
Oh, Josh.
Let's see. A lot of folks joining in. Zags was in Rum's unboxing video an hour ago talking about he's probably still unboxing stuff. Guy's too busy playing with stuff. I don't think I was going to make it and help me out by making it pour rain just as the toy duo went live. Oh, so rain preempted more important or better stuff. Now you're stuck with us. Got the time zone. Let's see. You know, I seen guys spend the first 40 minutes of their show going through the chats.
Yeah. And longer. Just imagine when you get thousands of people watching. I think there's a few channels out there. You ever seen that Ethan Van Sciver? Yeah.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, you have 2,000 people watching. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like, how do you go through them all? All right, Mike, you got your first question. What do you think the Star Wars HasLab is going to be?
There you go. I'm pretty much 99% sure we're getting a Ghost. I've done a couple of videos on it, and my reasoning was after people told me the size of this thing and the fact that I know it's going to be part of the Ahsoka show, so it all has to tie in together. So even if Hasbro decide they're going to make something, their overlords, which will be Lucasfilm and Disney, will say, hey, we've got something we want to tie into new media. Can you sort of make it from, like, I guess, Rebels, which is an old property, but now it's going to be in a new media, and it ties in all together. It crosses all the things off. And I think they like doing ships more than playsets. Playsets are millions of pieces and hard to ship and box all together. And they've already got a playset coming, which is that Boba Fett one, the Boba Fett throne room. That playset's just about to be out, so I think it's got to be a ship, and most likely be a Ghost.
Yeah, so I've heard this rumor on your channel and from a few other people, and I almost feel like, okay, so you think it's going to be Ghost. Do you think that's the smart choice?
No, because it's not casual enough. Casual fans will be like, oh, that's in that Star Wars cartoon. You've got to be a diehard Rebels fan to get into it. But they'll make you watch Ahsoka and you'll be like, oh, there's that ship. Oh, isn't it beautiful? And it'll probably play a big part in this Ahsoka show. So it gets people, the new people watching this Ahsoka show, you get the toy tie into it. People start to get familiar with it, and then they really, really want it.
So they're really, so I think that I say like that HasLab, which is if it turns out to be the Ghost, has to have two things going for it. I think the Razor Crest did really, really well because the Mandalorian was just so popular, right? Like, and it had a huge fan base behind it. So Ahsoka really has to capture that same fan base. I feel like, because I don't think there's enough. I guess I shouldn't say it out loud, but I don't feel like the Rebels fan base is big enough to like fund a HasLab. I think
But
if
putting
it
them in
was,
that show, yeah, putting them in the new medium will sort of
yeah,
try to capture lightning in a bottle.
maybe, but I think like Ahsoka has to like be on fire from like day one, right? Like it's got to have just as big of a draw for that for to capture that same sort of thing that was captured in The Mandalorian. I think their best bet would have been the Imperial shuttle. I think the aftermarket prices on the vintage one is huge, and to put out a new one could capture that or garner almost that same price range that I think they're looking for, that $400 to $500 price range, and it would just be a new set with like new figures and new accessories to go with it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at aftermarket ones, I see them going for over $500.
Oh, so I saw my mate's beat up one, and he said he paid 130. It was in pieces. I was like, "You paid $130 and it's in pieces." It had
Yeah, and you're gonna glue
on
it back together, right?
the wing that sits up. Someone in the back in the 80s put all these holographic, like the reflective stickers all over it, and he was there.
Oh,
I'm going to clean all them off. I'm like, oh my god, it's a lot of work involved. I paid $130. Good
but he
luck
got
to
it
him.
for $130. So he's
130
like,
Aussie dollar reduce. It's in pieces.
yeah, and he's thinking once it's restored, it's going to be like a great deal for him, right? If he could restore it,
Sure.
because
But with the shuttle Titanium, it's always how many people interact with it.
right.
It's
Well, you got you can use it with the Emperor, you can use it with Vader, right? Pretty much, and then
million
you can use
stormies.
it with the Endor crew. But it's iconic in my mind, right? Like you can use it
Yeah.
with Luke in that end scene with Vader or something like that if you have it on your shelf and that's how you wanted it. Or you could have all the stormtroopers lined up out on either side of it with the Emperor coming down and the two Imperial guards. Or you could do the scene where Han and them are in it, and then you could do. I mean, it's kind of like the Rancor was, right? I think the Rancor would have been like an awesome piece to have, just because of the size and the interactivity I could have used with it for like photographs or something like that. I didn't care that it was only in like a 5-minute scene in Return of the Jedi at that time when they were showing it, right? Because I thought, oh man, this is super cool, and I saw that model at Comic-Con, which looked fantastic.
So
So
the gray one, did you see that one? Or?
yeah, they had the Hasbro booth used to set up scenes, and they had these big dioramas that they set up. So what they did was on like the Wednesday or preview night, it was the doors outside of Jabba's palace, and it was like R2D2 and C3PO and the little ball coming out of the door or whatever, the little thing, and they were talking. And then the next day, it was Jabba sitting there with talking to R2D2, kind of like that meeting scene. And then there was the one where Leia's in there with Jabba and stuff like that. And then the Chewbacca scene. So every day they changed it a little bit. And like the last day, it was like Luke down in the pit with the Rancor. Right. So they changed it a little bit every day, but they had that Rancor and it was full size and it was done up pretty well. And I don't think it was gray. I think they actually had it painted. They had a mock-up painted at Comic-Con. And I think that part of that Rancor was people saying, hey, when are we getting this Rancor? Because they had saw that they had done it. And that diorama they built at Comic-Con was for their Black Series figures. And I thought it looked fantastic. And I just kept remembering that when I was like thinking about that Rancor. So I almost feel like with the HasLab, that Mandalorian was like a perfect crossover in a way, because it didn't just capture a new audience, it also captured the old audience, right? Because I mean, I'm into it. And I know like my grandkids are watching it. And so I thought that the Razor Crest was smart, but I mean, I'm not watching those cartoons, and I don't think my grandkids are watching them either. You know what I mean? I say it all the time. I have a really hard time watching the Bad Batch, the Rebels, the cartoons and stuff like that. I don't know what it is, but I just cannot sit through more than like one at a time. So it's like I never go back to them. And then when I do turn them on, I pay no attention to them when they're on.
It's not like the live action you can get into. Yeah, live action
It's
stuff.
just the
Get right
most
into.
bizarre thing. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to the chat because I could probably miss some. Let's see. For the HasLab, I think there are 3 keys to success. First, keep it something from the original trilogy. Second, make it more affordable overall, and make it appealing even without any of the
Tears.
tiers. Yeah. I think whatever the HasLab is, it will be at the lowest 650 US. Let's see what else gets blown up. The Death Star. That's Left Coast Graphics. I'm trying to guess. Oh, you know what? It could be that big dish that sits and sends up the shield over the indoor moon so that you can use it with your bunker playset.
Oh.
The big shield generator.
Shield generator.
0 chance it will be 600. I think in today's market, I think if they made it a $500-600 HasLab, I think that would be a little bit over the top, especially with the way the economy is and how people are kind of saving money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's tough.
But that rumor from SWTVC saying it was that, oh, we know it's going to be $600, the most expensive yet. And I'm like, how do you know that? And it's like, oh, in my country, that's going to be $1,200.
Yeah. How do they just? To me, I almost feel like, are they saying it's going to be $600? So when it's like 400, everybody's like, oh, relieved.
No,
it's
that's only 400.
Yeah, now we can back it, and then make sure you back it on day one, because if you don't back it on day one, it's not going to get backed. And it's like, when I started reading their posts, I was like, are these guys like bots or something like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like trying to be super
very passionate fans.
Yeah.
Just give Hasbro your money no matter what it is.
Okay, let's see. Blacked Out Ewoks is here. Let's see. Ray Paz has joined us. HasLab at 14,000. So Ray, I don't think I've seen you in our chat before. So thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. If you have been here before, then I'm sorry that I missed you in the past.
14,000. You talking about the Dragonfly? Yeah.
Yeah, the Dragonfly. Yeah, it was painted 3D print. Mr. B's here saying hello. Duffman's dioramas. Let's see.
Man.
Yeah, Hasbro came out and said it would be the most expensive HasLab yet. So 600 plus easy. Well, if they're saying it's the most expensive yet, then it has to be like over 600, right? Because
that's a crazy price.
Because how much was
good tiers?
Yeah, how much was Cookie Monster? Wasn't that like $600?
Oh God, for a puppet. Oh
yeah,
no wonder it failed.
Didn't make it, right? I think it was super expensive or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm guessing about 20 years time, the prototype that we saw in the images, that Cookie Monster is be, oh, it's going to be thousands. You'll see it on some Antiques Roadshow or something. Remember this thing?
Yeah, like it never made it.
It never made it.
Let's see. They should go for broke and make it the Star Killer base. You know, when we did the 3-minute monkey lizard, we did like HasLab pitches. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but the dude came up with a HasLab pitch, and his pitch was for the Imperial shuttle, the docking bay on the Death Star, and a docking bay on Endor with like the tri-levels and the elevator, so Luke and Vader could go down and meet each other with like a bunker door and the whole. He described like all of Endor, and I was like, "How much is this HasLab going to be?" And he was like, $200. I was like, "Oh,
that's a deposit."
And I was like, "Oh, I thought we were doing serious HasLab pitches." Give me a HasLab Falcon. The problem is it's a vintage collection. They've already had that Falcon, right? In the vintage collection. It's exactly the same as the one they came out with before.
The Galaxy's Edge one's the most recent, isn't it? Yeah. And that was 400.
The Dragonfly, yeah. Okay, let's see. The cell bar was $499. Hasbro misdirection will be at least 600. So Left Coast Graphics earlier said something like the most expensive funded HasLab. So if that's the case, then we can take out Cookie Monster, and then it would just be the Cell Barge, which is $500. 1-to-1 scale minecart from the Temple of Doom. Yeah, we talked about that one too. There was like wouldn't it be cool if it was like a track, like a little railway track that was like on like some sort of a thing with like some caves in the background.
Ooh, that sounds impressive.
That would be like kind of a cool indie HasLab. But I think if the indie does a HasLab, it'll be like one of those military trucks with like the canopy on the back or whatever, the one where he gets dragged behind and then he has to climb on the side and beat up the driver. It'll be like something like that. Her film as a HasLab. Let's see. Okay, so anyways, let's talk about the dragonflies. So yesterday I took this picture and they were just under 14,000. So it had taken them probably like a week to get 1,000 over a week, right? And I think they were steadily climbing about 300 a day until we got to Glinda. So the HasLab looks like it might be stalled a little bit. And so I got a couple of questions. Do you think that it is because of Glinda, which is stalling out the HasLab, or could it be that they popped up 6 pre-orders in 2 weeks that pretty much the only one that I don't want out of this group is the desert
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
Oh, don't you like that? What is it? The Buttercup version? Yes. No, because I think it is Glinda. I'm pretty certain it is because everyone talks about a deep cut. This deep cut's so deep that no one knows who it is.
But the thing is, it's like, okay, so the original Glinda was a painted version of Scarlet that was released in Argentina. And then I think when they came out, they made this version of Scarlet counterintelligence, and you see she's got the flight gear. So it's practically like giving us Scarlet without calling it Scarlet.
Is her card back got Glinda as an alias?
No, on this one right here, it says codename Scarlet.
On the file card?
No, on the Argentinian one, let's see, hold on. It said, oh yeah, you know what? Aliases. You're right.
Aliases Glinda
and Jane Mulligan. You're right. I didn't even look at that.
How about that? There she is. She's in disguise.
There you go. She's in disguise, right? So basically it's giving you Scarlet, but the Scarlet for and I think when we had talked about this, somebody said, what about the Flight Scarlet? I think they were talking about this one. So this is basically what we got, right? They just didn't give her like the red hair. They gave her like a new head sculpt with the blonde, which made her like the Argentinian figure, but really it's this figure.
Yeah.
So
they give her Scarlet. Yeah, I just think it's because people aren't aware of who she is. Yeah, I think if they put someone else in, there's nothing wrong with Glinda. She looks fine. But you put someone in there like John Smith, everyone would be like, who? They want that sort of nostalgia, the pullback to a memory. No one has a memory of Glinda. No one knew who she was, or there was a small group of fans who knew who she was because they get into the Argentina line, but it's more of people not knowing who she is. It's more like, you just gave me a character I have no connection to, no memory of,
Except for, and this figure came out much later, right? This is, I can't even figure out the year, 2000 something, right? I think these came out.
The 25th anniversary, 06? Yeah. 2006?
Yeah. From the GI Joe International Collection. Yeah. So yeah, it's like there's no nostalgia to it. Who would you rather have had than Glinda? What would have made you happier?
I think my points were Airborne, and then the next one would be General Hawk. That was the two I would have gone with.
Well, so the speculation is that the last tier is going to be General Hawk.
Yeah. Because his little file card that they crossed out where he's all still locked. It's the same amount of letters as his name. Yeah, Abernathy, Mr. Abernathy.
Mr. Abernathy. Yeah. See, one piece at a time, like Johnny Cash sung. Let's see, Glenn or Glinda. Let's see. Great figure, but pretty character. So you've seen all these reveals. from the week, were there any of these 6 that you weren't that impressed with? I mean, what about this guy?
That's cool. That's cool.
Is he gonna
Like
be a
with
good
all those bits and pieces, that's just fantastic. You can pack it all up in the case. I mean, in the box. I wish it was going to be window packaging so you could see all that.
Yeah, that's a lot of accessories for a classified series.
Mm.
What about? Yeah, I should have made this.
Oh, the
I
star of the
mean,
show. Yeah, I called that originally in my video. I said, "Oh, he's going to have a wolf ghillie suit." And
oh
it's
yeah, right.
wolf pelts
Practically,
is the word. Yeah, it's a
practically.
pelt.
Well, everybody's calling it timber.
Yeah, he's been slaughtered and now he's getting worn.
Now he's like a. What about Grunt?
Grunt, because being a classic original Joe from way back in '82, this
Yeah.
brilliant. I
So,
want to see all those old ones.
do you consider this guy like a troop builder, and will you have more than one?
Oh no, I just get one.
Okay,
Just one, because inbox collectors, I just need
the
cool,
one. Yeah. So,
cool action figure with the box with the number on it that tells me his name.
all right. So if you get this guy, he does have his name on there. So if you are going to do multiples, you're going to have a bunch of guys with the same name.
Yeah.
You interested in these?
Torpedo. No,
This is
usually
this is
as a
the
kid,
Cobra
I wouldn't
version.
have gone with anything wetsuit and what.
Yeah.
Maybe because I know I just all want the green shirts and army dudes. So yeah, I think this is cool. But yeah, this wasn't one I would have got as a kid. But you see it now,
Well,
it's like,
you're surrounded by ocean, so I mean, you could take this guy down to the beach.
oh, chuck him in there.
Tunnel rat.
Tunnel rat. This looks cool. I like the fact that he's very similar to his original 3 3/4 inch back in the day.
Yeah,
but his pants are too light, I hear. His pants are too light. But
yeah,
very
well,
cool to have all that. What do you call it? War paint on the arms and the face.
and I like this pistol right here. I think I really like because it's a revolver, right? I don't know. That's just me. And then, did you ever have any of these flashlights? The ones that like turn the corner?
No.
Those old military. I used to have one. It was that hard plastic, and you would hold on to it, and it had like the turn, and then it would come with different lenses, so you could put like a red lens on, so you could be at night, and you could. And it has
real GI Joe.
Yeah, it had like because I grew up as a military brat, so in my house we always had like some stuff like camping tents and stuff like that, right? Like that were military tents for that we take camping, because you could go to the excess store or whatever and pick stuff up. But those flashlights have like 2 functions. One was like the on, and one was the semi on, and you would click the button and it would like flash. It was like your way of sending Morse code. That's why I learned Morse code as a kid.
Yeah, right. Dash, dot. Oh, there he is.
It's everybody's favorite repaint. Are you interested in this character, this figure?
I do think I love that color scheme. Even though how many we got now? 8.
Yeah,
8 Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes is out of
just
control.
Just one more, says Hasbro. Just one more.
Just one more,
and we'll make it this color.
And then it's not going to be one more because they got to do a few more.
You could do an Arctic one. You could do an.
Let's see. Glinda is a great figure, but pretty meh. So I think that let's see, a red hair
piece to put on her.
They could I guess you could just because the hair comes off, so it would be easy to paint without getting any paint on the rest of the figure. Here, so the way Glinda is designed, she has this hair that has like the headphones. Then she has just the regular hair. So you could actually paint the hair yourself and make your own Scarlet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Hasbro should come out and say that next week when they do a live stream. Says, "Oh, we've got Glinda as one of the tiers. You can, her alias is, she's actually."
You think they should straighten that up?
Yeah. So people will be like, now I want to back it. Yeah. Okay. Having a character that no one has any connection to. Yeah. As soon as you drop the word Scarlet in there, it's actually Scarlet in disguise. Then people will be like, so here's some more money.
So Sonny's saying they should reveal all the tiers.
Yeah.
And they should add more weapon options for the Dragonfly with the tiers as well. So I think that the conversation we had was like if that second tier was Doc, that he might come with like a gurney that you could use with the winch, right? Like maybe a bucket you could put one of your
plays in together with the HasLab,
yeah. And so I think that that was kind of like the idea. So I think that would have been a really good idea for that also. The backlash is about Glenda from all the channels I watch. I watched quite a few this month. Yeah. HasLab Sarlacc pit with real digestive juices that'll dissolve your toys over 1,000 years. Oh, so this is the next Star Wars HasLab. That way you can rebuy all your figures 1,000 years from now, and Hasbro can make all their money all over again.
Dissolve your toys. Yeah. What's that smell? Rotting plastic.
But Josh is saying that Glenda would have been a great Melloway, not necessarily great for the HasLab. Had it been Scarlet, though, it would have been more well received. Yeah.
Mm.
This is kind of what we're talking about, right? Like if it was Scarlet, or if they come out and say it's Scarlet, do you think that makes a difference, or do you think it won't because the hair's the wrong color?
I think if they say it's Scarlet, people will be like, "Oh, I'll feel better about backing it now, and don't have to explain to people who this mystery character I have no connection to or don't know." They'll get onto it more to be like, "Oh, that's more interesting now. It's got more of a story," and then you can still hold that story about it. You know, the Argentina figure, the $600 one, that 3 3/4 inch now.
So he makes a comment about the Melloway. So when we go through these comments, I do want to go back to the idea of the Melloway. And I do have a couple of questions on it, but let me try to get through some of the comments. I wish Hasbro would just reveal all the tiers up front. If they can't come up with an alternative method of generating hype demand through the campaign, then they need new marketing people. Yeah, you know, I kind of feel like if you told everybody up front what like everything was going to be, then you probably get everybody who's pretty much everybody who's on the fence to go in right at the beginning, and then at the end you would just have the stragglers. But you would also see it's a double-edged sword, right? Like you get somebody making a video talking about how it's not worth it because, oh, this figure is this is that, they're not giving you anything else, and then you're breaking down the value per item, right? Like that Marvel Legends Engine of Vengeance at 350 with just the one figure at the beginning and like some of the lighting effects, it was nowhere near the value for the item. But people were already trying to add in all the other figures that was going to come with it to try to spread that value out. But you can't do it, because if we don't get to Glenda at all, if this stops at 14,000, the Dragonfly is the helicopter, the accessories, and 2 figures, right? So the value has to be built in the main offering, and the tiers are just extras for getting to those tiers. And so I'm kind of on the fence about this revealing all the tiers up front, because
I don't think it worked for Mattel Creations where they had the wrestling entrance, the WCW one. And I think it was there 4 figures or 5 figures, and they come out and said, "This is at this level, this is at that level."
Yeah,
there was like DDP, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Rey Mysterio, and Scott Steiner. Yeah, there's 5, and they told them all up. This is what the tiers, and I don't even think it got past 1 or 2 of them. One was an early bird tier that failed, and then it didn't really quite get to the next one, and it didn't back at all. And they told us all the tiers straight off the bat.
Yeah, and because I feel like I think it was the Sentinel, I think they created extra tiers because it had done so well. Right? I think that they had gotten through their tiers, and I feel like they just added extra stuff at the end or something like that.
Was there one that the Star Wars did?
Is that maybe that's what it was, the Razor Crest, that it had done so well they just decided to make something.
We had to scramble. The actual words were we had to scramble and find something else.
Yeah, just because it was doing so well.
Yeah.
So I think, like, in a way, it's kind of like, they're sort of holding the vest to unlock this one so you can see what that's going to be. It's like the building of the anticipation, right? I'm British, so I don't know much about G.I. Joe, but you do know about Action Force, and practically the same thing.
Anyone else watching the Ashes? Oh, yes, the Ashes. That's Australia versus England in the cricket.
Oh, yeah? Is that on right now?
Yeah. Not at this hour of the day, I don't think.
No. Could you imagine Black Series giving us many accessories? No, I can't imagine it. You're barely getting a lightsaber with a figure. Snow Serpent was definitely the highlight. See how far I am on the chat? Now we're finally talking about Cobra, Viper, Glider, even Claw with any of the tiers. Let's see. I'm not impressed with the choices. So
Connor,
Connor
how you
has
doing?
joined us. Torpedo is rad. So yeah, see, I'm so far behind. This is when we went through those figures that came out this week. Range Viper looks good. It's a Walmart exclusive here. So it's a 50-50 for me whether they're just going to cancel my order and not ship it and claim they don't have enough stock, because
Oh,
almost everything that I've pre-ordered from Walmart has been canceled due to lack of stock.
wow.
Yeah. After I see a bunch of pictures of people buying them in the stores, which is hilarious. I loved all of them. The ill being exclusive is dumb. Yeah, the ill's at Amazon exclusive here.
Oh, we might be able to get that here.
Yeah,
We can buy it off US Amazon, but the shipping is torture.
just
But
ridiculous.
so if there's ever a GI Joe figure that's Amazon exclusive, we'll be able to get in Australia. The other ones, some of them just, we never see.
Mod Extra saying his black market organ dealer is happy. He's having
I've got to live it for it.
Oh my gosh. Same about Target and Walmart exclusives. Yeah, we're just gonna let's see, hold on. HasLab Argentina.
Can you back it in Argentina? No, you can't.
Yeah.
They don't have a Hasbro. They don't have Hasbro Pulse down there.
Other YouTubers, they will use Glinda Buck as a retro Scarlet figure released later in the line. Yeah. So that's what he's saying, right? Like people are saying that mold that they're using for the Glinda,
Leather.
which is basically Scarlet, right, in the US, is gonna be the OG Scarlet for the
The one
most
you
part.
held
That's
up,
like,
pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah, parts on that. I mean, that's Connor saying he didn't mind Glinda as the tier because it didn't matter when he backed it. And I got to say that too. I mean, I backed it before, even before Ripcord was funded or cleared.
John
So
said that too. Super Awesome Geek John. He said it doesn't matter. He said he backed it, and
yeah,
now they give us Glenda. He's like, it's a figure.
yeah.
It's extra.
I have like an affinity for helicopters, and I have my big yellow one from the original 12-inch GI Joes and stuff like that. So when it was a helicopter, I mean, I held off about a week or whatever, but like the helicopter plus the figure plus all those accessories, and then that lower than $300 price point, I thought was actually really good. So to me, all the extra figures are like bonuses at this point, right?
Yeah,
That's my
under
opinion.
300 is a good HasLab. It's like,
Yeah,
and people could say, oh, why not put it on the shelf? But it's
yeah.
massive. It's huge.
Well, I got some space. I got some space up there next to my yellow helicopter, so I'll probably stick it. But that will definitely come out because I'll probably use it in some photos and maybe some stop motion stuff if I can
When I
get
think
it.
yellow helicopter, I think Thanos.
Thanos?
Didn't he have a yellow helicopter in the 70s?
I don't know. Let me get up there. Hold on. So this is my. It's like the adventure team.
Base. That's a Bell helicopter, isn't it?
Kind of, but it's single seater. It's just got the one piece of glass in the front, and it was for the 12-inch GI Joes, and it's that one where like there's a crank that comes down with like the rope and stuff like that, and then I'm trying to remember if it was in the mummy's tomb, probably the hunt for the mummy set or something like that. But I've had that thing forever. It even has a button where you push the button and the rotor blades go around. But in one of my very first videos that I did these like stop motions, I actually the way I did it was I took a picture of my yard, and then I put my digital camera and I set like a 5-second timer, and I went and stood in the yard holding it. And then I would go push the button and I would move like half a foot and move like half a foot and move like half a foot, like walking it through the yard is how I got it to like fly for some of the long shots. And then I would go into the computer and I would like erase just the helicopter, right? I superimpose the picture of the yard on top. And then I would like change the opacity and I would erase just where the helicopter was. So the background shot is just the shot of my yard, but but I would erase the helicopter in each frame, and then I strung all the frames together. And that's how I got it to look like it was moving. Nowadays, what you would do is just wear like a green outfit
Yeah.
and then just
And
go out in the yard and do green
you'd be
screen,
erased. Yeah. You'd
and it would
erase
just
you from
move
the
you.
picture.
But back in like the 90s, you had to go in there and it was painstaking.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm with most people that Glenda didn't turn me off. I was happy with the copter. Wild Bill Night Force Airborne. Yeah, that Wild Bill figure to me is like awesome. Shoe with the Rancor, the Ghost Rider car, in my opinion, they were worth with all of the extra goodies, but not by themselves. Yeah, see, that's the problem. Chris from Dallas.
What else do I get? Hey, Chris.
Any of these things would have been pretty damn cool for me to back them all. Okay, so are you an Action Force collector?
Action Force? I'm thinking about getting one figure.
Okay,
the 3 3/4 Desert Rat. I really want that.
So is that just because it's a retro sized from
old school with that old school packaging? Just brilliant.
So you're not interested. Let's see. So you wouldn't be interested in say this guy who is the 6-inch Desert Rat because of the box and the way that it packaged him.
Oh, I'd like that, but I know that I'd look at the back and I'd be like, oh, look at all these other ones I've got to get. It'd feel like Black Series all over again, where I'm like, I'm going to pump them all out. I've got to get them all, and I know they're expensive and difficult to get in my countries.
But I mean, yeah, but I'm saying because this guy's Desert Rat, and that's the figure you like, right? Like that's would have been the one throwback to the original in my mind. Can you see yourself picking a 6-inch one up to go with your GI Joes? I mean, you're not opening them, so
yeah, it's more of how it looks. So when it's on the card back, that's just beautiful. Yeah, it's like a vintage collection figure. It's just
so you'd have to get one on the card then, because I know that at the Joe Fest they had both uncarded and carded ones.
I'd definitely grab that carded one. Definitely grab the carded one. I'm going to keep checking Valor Versus website for when it pops up. I'm going to get one.
They said that they were, so the announcement that they said was they were going to work on their website and then they were going to put those figures up, the ones that were left over. Because I don't know if you're aware, their website crashed twice in a week when they re-released figures. Yeah. So they did finally come out and say the Mummy set things that exist in Brendan Fraser HasLab.
The Mummy.
Yeah. So they did a Melloway figure. Did you see this that they did? So they did this. Yeah, this is a special. Keep calling them Special Ops Condor, but it's Covert Ops Condor, and it's just basically, I guess people compare him to Chuckles. So because he's got the Hawaiian shirt, he's not very covert because of the tactical pants and the big weapon on the side of his leg. I mean, I think it would have way better if they would have given him a pistol that went on that belt, maybe a Glock comes out and they have a short version of a Glock, maybe a smaller pistol, or even if they figured a way to do a shoulder holster in there where the gun fit back here or something like that, would have been kind of cool. They would have had to remold this. This is something that was existing, but it did.
Cops in the 70s had those straps, the holster in there.
But it did come in a plain white box, which is kind of also a throwback in my mind, right? It's a plain white box. Yeah. And so I thought
Admiral Akbar. He's a plain white box.
So I think the idea was really, really interesting, right? I think it came off okay. That you had to send in points. So when you buy these figures, you get these points. So basically it was 20 figures you had to send in for this figure, but you also had to pay $15. Then you had to pay for shipping, and then you had to mail in your points, right? So it wasn't like you could mail in your points with a thing and then send them the $15 in the envelope or whatever. So in the end, it was a little bit more than $15. So, and I get it. I mean, the times of sending in UPCs and getting something completely for free, I think, are over, right? That's never going to happen again.
It's going to happen again.
But do you think like Hasbro should start doing something like that with GI Joe?
No, because international market, it wouldn't work at all.
Why is that? Why do you think it wouldn't work?
For you guys in the US, you'd be like, oh, send it in. It cost me $15 for shipping. They'd have to calculate it for, I live in the middle of nowhere, it'll cost me $65. So there's a difference in how much things will cost. It won't end up being like oh, look, I've got a figure for free. Internationally, it wouldn't work. It's just, and the shipping across, mine got lost in the ocean. Yeah, it's a lot of logistical nightmare. So if it's only US and Canada or just North America, that would work. But yeah, once you start getting it into other countries around the world, trying to mail in points and things like that, no.
So do you think like a company like Hasbro would just not do it because of the idea there's no way to offer that internationally?
Yeah.
Or do you think they care?
They do care about the US market because everything's available in America.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think like in a way they're like, well, we'll just offer it in the US?
They'll probably do that.
Because is the selfie series available to everywhere?
No, because you got to download that app, and in my country, if I don't have a VPN, it won't let me download the app in my country. So
because it's not available there. Yeah, and I think it's because they manufacture those heads in Mexico. Yeah, because
yours turned out good, by the way, because you've swapped yours onto other characters, and it looks brilliant.
I have moved that one around. Brilliant. I have noticed though. So this will Super John's going to join us. Hey, John. Hey, so with that, with the selfie series head, what I've noticed is every time I remove it, I hear a little bit less of a click.
Oh.
So I think it's widening. It's a different kind of a plastic than what you get with a regular action figure head. So I have a feeling that it's unmolding that piece that holds it to the ball.
Gotcha.
And
so a nice fresh snap, you're getting it like
you're not getting it. Like in the beginning, it was like pop, and now it's like right. And I'm like, okay, so I know it's kind of widening that thing a little bit. But you know what? I'll just order another one one day and then probably keep that one perfect. But I did purposely do the one, the Mandalorian body, because it has one of the biggest pegs.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, so it has to me, I felt like it's one of the bigger pegs. So even if I wanted to put it on a smaller peg, you just throw a little hot glue in the hole and it'll hold it. And then when you're done, you could just dig out the hot glue.
So I apologize. The alarm didn't go off.
John.
I looked up at the clock and I'm like, wait a minute. How can it be this late? What's going on?
Well, we talked about you for a little bit in the beginning. Oh, he fell asleep.
I picked his
tired,
name.
Unboxing all that
his name. Usual John. I knew you'd have a Usual John in there. That's brilliant. It's good to see you, John. I haven't been on a live stream with you for ages.
I know. It's good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, so Josh is saying he didn't like the Valaverse mail away, that you couldn't bundle it with other figures to save on shipping, or at least spread the shipping over several items. That was kind of a downside. The only thing you could do was order 2 Covert Ops Condors, but then you had to send in 40 points. And I honestly barely had 20 points. Wow. I barely had them. And the thing is like when they put up Bone Collector and Carrack or whatever, I waited for these guys to arrive to cut off the points to get my 20 points. This is a re-release of the series 1, and when they threw those up, the website that's what kind of crashed it that first day. So I got Bone Collector and I got that guy, but I needed those points to get to my 20. So I was like, oh, hopefully they won't cancel it before like I'm able to get my full 20, but it's still available. It's still available on their website. So, yeah, I didn't like that either, though.
Yeah, exactly. Took me 2 hours to change a shirt. Yeah.
40 points per 1K in the boxes. That's me, inbox collector. Yeah. I don't want to destroy my box.
So that's. But did you ever do any mail-aways as a kid? That's the thing, right?
Oh, I did all of them. I did every one.
Setting up my cards
And it wasn't even just as a kid. I did all the ones up through the 90s and into the 2000s that Hasbro used to do.
Those are my bitches. So, yeah, I still have like the grappling hook piece.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right.
I have the Qui-Gon with the Eopie that was a mail away from the 90s, you know, and all those things I did.
This is the Rebel Soldier backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you got those with the Rebel transport too, you know.
I did not know that. You're telling me now that I did not have to cut up my UPCs.
No, you could have bought a Rebel transport. Yeah.
That's it.
What was your mail?
I'm writing Kenner a letter.
The survival pack, wasn't it? You're trying to get.
Yeah. The survival pack was a mail away. But not every parent would buy their kids that Rebel transport. Not every kid wanted the Rebel transport either because it was basically a carry case. It wasn't really a vehicle.
I see Rolando saying hi to Dan. Oh, here he is. Sorry I'm late. Had to drop the kid off at work. Oh, you finally got the kid to work? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Kids need to go to work. I remember doing tons of melloways in the 80s. Yeah, so the idea of the melloway I thought was really cool. We were talking about whether or not Hasbro should do a melloway.
Yeah. They only got rid of it like when the Black Series started. They were doing melloways all the way up to like 2010, 2011.
Mike's saying that it would be impractical internationally.
What do you mean? Why?
They'd have to do shipping costs for international customers. How much would a figure cost that have to charge me to send?
Oh, maybe that's why they stopped. Yeah, because the prices were going up so high.
See, I heard someone say at yesterday. Almost at AT. Oh, is he saying it as at?
Yeah. Someone must have went at AT. Yeah. Instead of at or AT. They did them both. They went, I've got an at AT.
Well, it's at.
Yeah, I always said at as a kid.
Yeah. All you got to do is watch the commercial. They said at in the commercial.
That's true. They did say that in the commercial, didn't they? Yeah. But they also say ATST. So it's a weird.
Not in the commercial.
They don't go ats just in the commercial.
Ats.
Well, in the retro commercial, did they say ATST or did they just call them the
Scout Walker? Actually, they say
Walker, yeah. They didn't actually call it the ATST until more recently.
It's like my friend naming his kid so that he can't yell at him. He named him CH. That's his name. So he can't yell because his dad used to yell at him all the time. So he named his kid CH because he can't yell. No matter how hard he tries, he can't yell. Get over here, you. You know.
And why? Because it just makes him laugh every time he gets to.
Well, it's just hard to yell CH. You can't really raise your voice and go.
I wonder if he just says CH then.
Yeah, get over here, CH, you little bastard.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
all right, so we already had this long HasLab discussion. We already figured out what the Star Wars HasLab's going to be. That's all the stuff you missed.
I know. I agree with everything except for the Star Wars one. I don't even know what you said, though. So
I know. I said it should be an Imperial shuttle. Mike thinks it's going to be the Ghost.
I want it to be something we've never had, so I hope it's the Ghost, but I still won't buy the Ghost. And the thing is like, if it had come out when Rebels was out, I probably would have bought the Ghost. But as it sits right now, I'm going to buy the Dragonfly. I don't want to get another. I probably wouldn't buy anything that Star Wars had right now because I'm doing the Dragonfly. The Dragonfly was my favorite helicopter ship as a kid. There's no way I'm passing that up.
You already have one in 3 3/4, don't you, John?
I've got 3 of them, and I've got the Locust.
Do you want to send me one?
You want to sell one on your channel? You
want to sell one? Yeah.
How much would one of those have to go for to leave your collection?
Oh, I don't know. I'm because it was my favorite as a kid. I don't know if I can get rid of one right now.
One vinyl
It's
cassette.
just hard. And that was the thing. It was kind of a buy a couple for parts to make the one complete. You know what I mean? Kind of like how we did with the Sky. I think I've got like 4 Sky Strikers right now because of the same thing. Scuba Pete and I took like 3 or 4 Sky Strikers, and Scuba sent me some with parts, and I got some with parts, and we built one good one out of the 4. You know what I mean? And the Sky Striker stuff, I've got in a pile to sell, but it's hard to even get rid of the parts of the Dragonfly because I was my favorite one as a kid.
Can you walk freely from one end of the room to the other?
No, I can't.
Okay.
No.
There's a show on TLC.
But soon I will because
you won't be able to walk at your mom's house.
Yeah, soon I won't be able to walk at my mom's house. Yes, because so usual Mike. I know you may have been. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but my brother passed away a week or so
Sorry
ago,
to hear that again.
a couple weeks ago, and so I went up there Thursday, and we cleaned everything out. We had to go through all the stuff, and we basically cleaned out the TV room that he was using, and in the house, and cleaned out his bedroom, and we were gonna set up the bedroom as a guest room and put all his Seahawk stuff in there and different things that he owned as kind of like on the walls and set it all up because he never set everything up. He just had it lying around, and so we're gonna display everything and put it up real nice in there. But the TV room, we've gutted it. I'm going to paint it, and then we're going to put up shelves and put all this stuff. My mother's like, make it a new toy room. Go ahead. Just go do whatever you'd want, you know. So I'm going to take all the modern stuff up there. But I've got boxes in 2 storage sheds and then all these boxes that are in the way in my toy room in here in the condo. And I'm just going to pack the truck with all that, take it all up to my mom's, and I'm going to sort it up there and display all the modern. So it'll be modern. It'll be like Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, GIJOE Classified. I may even do the Master Universe Origins, the new Origins up there. And so all that stuff will be able to be put on display. And then the condo will be vintage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
So
let me describe to you the sequence of events. John's going to take all the boxes that are currently lying around. He's going to put them in a truck, drive them to his mom's, put them down in the room, say, I'm going to head back now. Next time I come up, I'm going to sort through these things. On his way back, he's going to be like, oh, look at that yard sale. Hey,
hey, there's an estate sale over there.
He's going to offload everything he bought. It's in the truck and put it in the space where he currently has in his place now. Gosh, the thin line between being a collector and a hoarder.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We just got this.
Basement.
I just got this giant bundle in. Scuba and I are going to go through this, but it's got a million missiles and parts and all this stuff and figures. There's even like Star Wars in there. There's a Greedo and
that's Wild Bill. There's a
I see Lady J in there.
There's a Dusty
Lady
J.
Look at this. Trying to turn their heads.
I know.
It was
let me make you big screen. Hold on.
$42 for this giant pile of parts and
$42.
And there's a hammerhead. Look at that.
Oh yeah, the hammerhead.
And Scuba's going to come on Monday night. We're going to go through it all and try to.
Wait. This guy at the top. This guy with the silver helmet.
That's Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but we're going to try and
Greedo
recognize what everything is. You know, there's all these missiles and parts in here.
I don't know if you're going to be able to recognize that stuff once you take it out of the plastic bag.
Right? Yeah. And then another recent thing I got is I've been getting hooked on this stuff in Brazil. So South America.
Are you bringing it into the States?
It's here, yeah. South America for some reason got
Did you take a plane through the
no, I
Keys?
didn't do anything like that.
I don't know. You're hooked. You're hooked on something from Brazil.
But in Brazil, they colored their GI Joe differently than they did
Oh
here in
no,
the
John!
States
I
quite
cannot
often.
believe that you bought a painted GI Joe.
And
You
so this
said
this
he was. Oh no, this is no
this
good.
was a mail away. This was a mail away pack in Brazil.
All right, John has
And it's
previously said that if they're painted any different than his vintage
by
figures,
a customizer, by you, not by the factory. Like Hasbro did this, okay?
Oh,
And
sure.
they have a file card here that has like all 4 figures on it, which was really interesting
Okay,
that
hold
it's
on. Let me
one
make that
file
big screen.
card. It's
These
one
people want to
file
read that.
card for all 4, you know.
International Action Force.
Big Ben and
Yeah.
Spirit, Big Bear and
Big
Budo.
Bear, Big Ben, Spirit, Budo.
In 1993 Hasbro. And so this was a mail away pack that was only in Brazil. It was only available down there. And when I looked up a lot of these figures individually, they're $100 to $200. So it's about $600 worth of figures. And the guy sold me this pack, still sealed. It's never been opened, for $100. So I got $100. I paid $100
It's
for
never been
$600.
open.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this thing called the Food Saver?
Oh, give me a break. It's never been opened. And the Food Saver. Yeah, it says
Has a
Food
little thing
Saver.
that steals
It says
back.
Food Saver right on it. Crazy. No,
That's
but
great, John. That's really
so
rare.
Awesome.
and it's cool because like they're some of these weird colored ones that they did down in South America are like extremely hard to find. You know, like there's like a red dial tone. There's like a like an orange tunnel rat, and yeah, there's all these other weird colored figures that we never got here in the States.
Sorry, it's 7 a.m. here. Someone's mowing. So
Mowing the lawn.
I'm like,
On
I could
Sunday?
hear this. I took this off. I'm like, wait, a couple of houses down the road. Someone's mowing their grass. 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh my god. Sorry, guys, I've interrupted you.
That's okay. You just interrupted. Usually when Super John's on or Usual John's on, nobody else has an opportunity to say anything.
Oh,
That's not true.
I know it's
You say stuff all the time.
yeah, because I interrupt you.
I do enjoy when John has you put your videos on really early in the morning.
Yeah, I
That's
like to do the
perfect
Sunday
for me.
streams. Yeah,
Yeah,
when you're going to bed.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So what time do you okay, John, when you put your videos on, then what time do you set them for? Because you set them for East Coast time. What time?
Yeah, I do 7 a.m. in the morning, like a lot of times.
So that's 4 a.m.
For you, yeah.
Okay,
Rick
yeah.
complains about that too.
I set mine for like usually for 4:30 in the morning here, which is 7:30.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mowing lawn 7 a.m. on Sunday. This is Australia.
Yeah, mowing 7 a.m. Well, you get
Grass
you
is
know what?
chewing it. It's still
At
chewing
least-
the grass. Oh, it's
At
crazy.
least it is winter there, right? That's what you said earlier. So when I went to Hawaii, when I went for a water polo tournament when I was 16, and we went in August, and there were so many people from Australia there, and they were basically saying they were on their winter break, like from school or whatever, and that's why they were there.
Yeah, school holidays is next week after. Yeah.
So there were a lot of folks like getting away from the cold is what they said. So how cold does it actually get?
Right now it's 6 degrees Celsius where I am.
Oh wow, that is really cold.
Oh, it'll be right. By lunchtime it'll be 20 degrees. We got the big like it goes from
Oh,
cold
you got a big okay.
Whereas if you're in the UK, I see the guys go, "Oh, we wake up and it's 7 degrees, and by lunchtime it's 10." It's like,
yeah.
Well, I'm in San Diego area, so I mean, like it was super cold this morning. It was like 67 degrees.
But that's Fahrenheit.
And it's summertime.
Yeah, so that was 30 degrees close to freezing, almost. So I'm just messing around because the temperature is so temperate here. We go from like 67 to 75.
Yeah.
When it's 67, I can't wear shorts, and when it's 75, I can. I'm just joking because I haven't seen a jacket. I actually haven't seen a jacket in probably like 4 years.
Oh, I've got this woolen one that looks
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it looks good.
Mowing the lawn. Yeah, let's see.
Well, Mike, are you getting the HasLab? Can you get that? Are you going to get it?
It is available.
I mean,
through,
the Dragonfly. I mean,
yeah, it's 800 Aussie dollars.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
holy crap!
So that's holding me off. I want to see this last.
Yeah.
And for us, it's you go into EB Games and drop down a $200 deposit, and then they've actually got a date of release for the HasLab.
Wow,
20th of August, 2024. They've actually got a date of release on the website.
Wow.
Well, I wonder if somebody in the US, what would it be if somebody in the US funded it for you and then shipped it to you? Would it be cheaper?
Possibly.
Or would it get caught up with like import taxes?
I reckon the shipping would be $150 plus. Easy. Okay. Yeah. And that's US dollars too, which would be about $200 Australian. On top of the 274 US, which would work out to be about 350, 400. Yeah, you're up around $600 already if I do it that way.
And then potential import fees or whatever. Yeah, so almost the same.
You might end up breaking even. Yeah.
Next minute, it's $800.
Yeah.
Just curious.
But you got a year to pay it off.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, hitting the Star Wars one, like, I mean, I can't really think of what you would do, but I would like to see something that's never been done before, or do something like, in a way that's never been done. Like if they did the original Cantina, give it to us in a way that's never been done before. Like maybe you could make it, like maybe you could make it an arcing roof, like half the roof is on the Cantina, and the little seats are in their little cubby holes. You know what I mean?
I think
the tables and the seats, and then you have the bar sort of sticking on the side here.
I think the Cantina would be a little bit too hard, just because of the configuration and the way you'd want to be able to display it, right? Like the sail barge was confined, but it basically was you took off one side and you just had levels.
Yeah.
Right. Like the way the Cantina is, the bar was over here and the little booth was over here. So which angle would you be looking at?
That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. Do you want to do it where the bar is coming out this way and you've got a couple seats behind it? Or I was just thinking, like, what if the bar was sticking out straight at you and you almost had a round, like imagine if they did the round building that the Cantina was in, but you popped it open and opened it up. So the bar was facing you, and then you had seats and tables in each of the two side areas, and you still had the arching roof. That way you'd have the arching roof over it, Or like a Hoth Rebel base that was more like what you saw in the movies, like that actually had like even a curved piece where like you could have like a corridor, and you could have like a little round area, like make a half circle on the one side of it, a half circle on the one side of it where the Falcon lands. You know what I mean? So if you had your Falcon, it could sit. It's
so you'd have to have a big, gigantic open area that would fit your Falcon. And then,
a half circle. You'd make a half circle of the play set so the Falcon could be on the side of it. You know what I mean? Like, and then you would have you're right, like the command center would be in there, and maybe a corridor going off.
This is getting on to that HasLab that we were discussing earlier, where you got the shuttle Tidarian or the shuttle, and then you got like a huge landing bay and the Death Star where you can line up all your stormtroopers. But then also you make the landing station on Endor where they had the
the landing station
and the elevator, so that Luke and Vader can stand on the little catwalk and talk to each other.
And your AT-AT could walk up to it.
Bunker, right? Yeah. So your bunker play set right there. And then if you're going to do that, you might as well throw in some trees and some forest, and then on the end, maybe you just throw up some of the Ewok village.
The Ewok village, yeah.
And then, of course, you want to get the ATST. For the
And they'd have to have a glider, and you'd have to have some trees that came down and smashed the ats and squished it. So you'd have to have a special ats to that squishes. You know, yeah.
So I think the problem here is it's probably, you guys are probably right, it's going to be the Ghost, and we just got to hope for the sake of Star Wars at this point that there's enough people that are willing to back that they don't then decide it's not worth ever doing another Star Wars HasLab.
Yeah.
Because that what?
Well, I think the problem with the Ghost today is theoretically, like a lot of people have said this already on streams, is that technically the Ghost is a little bit larger than the Falcon if it was like real life. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So the toy should be larger than people were saying the biggest version of the Falcon they've made, because it's a HasLab. So it's got to be like bigger than that legacy one or whatever the heck that large one they made, you know?
Yeah.
And
we've seen room tours of people's videos, and that Falcon takes up a lot of space on the wall.
Yeah. And the problem is I very highly doubt they would even make a ship as big as that Falcon these days. I don't think they would do it. So I have a feeling it's going to be like, it'll only be maybe like 3 feet long. That seems to be the average length for a lot of these things. Like the Dragonfly is around 3 feet. The sail barge, the Razor Crest, you know what I mean? Even when they make those giant transformers like Unicron, they're around 3 feet tall. Like that's their limit. They don't tend to make stuff that's 4 or 5 feet long. You know what I mean? And
yeah, it's hard to ship something that big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I think it's going to be a deformed sort of monstrous creation when they finish the Ghost, and it might look right from the outside, kind of like how the Razor Crest does, but you know that the inside stuff is squished down to make it work as a toy. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of fans are going to look at that and go, no, that's not what I wanted. You know, yeah, I wanted the Ghost, but I didn't want it like this. I wanted it like this, you know, and it's going to turn
they
them
didn't
off.
want the they don't want the Boba Fett starship that's not really Boba Fett starship.
Yeah.
It's you know, the one that they sell is just way too small because it's actually not even proper scale for the vintage collection, right?
Yeah.
It would be for I'm get like the slave one to me is maybe the right size if they were micro collection figures.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But anyways, let's see. Hold on.
I like that thing. Yeah. Boba Fett's armor and blaster, but you don't get the helmet included because that was already made. But too bad it's sold out everywhere.
Yeah, like they did with
like
the Ghostbusters proton pack.
Yeah.
Then you had to buy the other piece separate.
Yeah. Try and find that one.
But someone said earlier, like, why don't they do these play sets in modular parts? And I agree. Like back in the, I mean, even in like 90, even in the 95, 96, 97 line, like that era, they did like the Death Star Trent, like the, what was it? The cell block corridor, right? And then they did like the Death Star. They had that round part where the guard sat in, and you could kind of just, they didn't really attach, but you could line them up if you really wanted to, you know? And then they had the trash compactor, and it's like, well, if you were really creative, you could line those two up on a top shelf, and on the shelf underneath it, put the trash compactor, you know? And it looked like they could jump out of the corridor into the trash compactor down below. Right. And then like they had the part where Darth Vader and Luke fought in, where the window broke open.
Right.
And then they had the railing part as a separate play set. So you could also, with those, you could kind of line them up to make it look like he blew out the window and landed on the railing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
that has.
Oh, the HasLab would be the.
We're gonna box up these rocks for you.
You know, I have a couple of the asteroids in the kitchen right now. I got some potatoes earlier that.
Oh my gosh!
One of the asteroids was a potato. I tell you.
Yeah. Okay, so what you're talking about with the play sets, I think the reason why they're not really full into doing play sets is because there's so many 3D printer people out there doing them already. And there's already like diorama builders building their own play sets. And I think that they're trying to see like how the open market does for like trying to like design space walls and all that kind of stuff to make like corridors and stuff. I think they're leaving it out there because they're not seeing a huge market for that yet. But I have a feeling like
whichever whenever the 3D printed item becomes super popular, and I think when they see these people selling over a certain amount, that's when they announce a place.
They'll jump in, yeah.
Because that's what happened with the throne. That throne went crazy, and everyone was buying a 3D printed throne right after Book of Boba Fett. So then they had to come out with their throne system.
Sure.
That's like $200. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they immediately jumped on that, you know, and
cool playset.
So does Sonny mean he wants a trash compactor where like it has such force that the plastic figures actually crush?
That
he
it will
actually, like a vice grip?
Yeah,
you know?
maybe yeah, something like that.
They got videos on the internet, the hydraulic crushes in.
Yeah, hydraulic press there. Like
they're pressing everything. Let's put a phone under there. Let's put all sorts of stuff.
So is this what I'm going to do is let's go through these right now. These are the week's reveals that I was able to pull up, and we'll just talk about them. Yeah, we usually do this hot or not. Like you'll see, like there's guys that are like members of the channel. I have like fire, lava, a cube of ice or something like that as one of the custom emojis. But of course, if you look for emojis, there's a fire one and an ice one, so you can use those. I'm not trying to detract from being a member because I think my emojis are way better, and I recommend everybody become a member to take advantage of those.
Vern has the best emojis.
I actually take like, you know, offense to this reveals hot or not thing, because I don't think we should really set our hot figures on fire. And I personally think that a lot of figures and stuff that have ice effects look really cool. So when I see ice effects associated with not, I just get offended because I think ice effects are awesome.
Do you think this Iceman is like a figure like everybody should have, and you would have like 500 of them in your collection?
I do. I actually do.
This is basically like a blank, unpainted figure made out of some sort of like silvery white plastic.
I like how you just had it lying around too. Like it was just right there, you know,
in arm's reach.
John's triggered. Yes, I got triggered by this hot or not. Exactly.
The only problem with if you're like looking at YouTube and you look in the chat, you can see the emojis come up hot or not. But like if on StreamYards for some reason they just come up as the hot not.
Yeah,
so,
it does.
Yeah, I wish that StreamYards would advance their program a little bit so it would understand your emojis. But anyway,
they don't know what's going on. Yeah.
So this week,
Gilster's a new member. Look at that.
Yeah, he joined today, even before the show started. So it was kind of really nice that he became a channel member. I did say that I was feeling a little bit under the weather earlier, and that when I had sent a message to my doctor, he had told me that the best way to get over a cold is for people to join your channel as a member or super chat. But
okay, gotcha. So he made you feel a little bit better. Okay.
Yeah. He said he wasn't going to do it, but or he said I could just take some Tylenol.
Oh, if that hat is removable, that's cool.
It's removable.
Oh, it is. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
the middle screen. Yeah, the middle screen.
So this is off of a guy on Instagram, I think. Man, I have his name. Darn it, Marvel Legends guy or something like that. And he had a bunch of reveal pictures.
Oh, it wasn't Jason this time? Someone got him before Jason?
No, it was somebody else. And then Vern's Iceman custom comes with a compliment. Yeah, see, the problem is these guys never complimented me on my custom artworks that I did. I had made like an ice piece out of like hot glue, and all they said it looked like a sock.
Gotcha.
They're very familiar with this sock thing. I didn't understand what they kept saying, but they kept saying it. So
over in England, they to a sock.
Yeah. So Salacious Rum has joined us. Welcome, sir.
I think this figure looks great. I think he's a hot figure, but I'm not going to buy him because I don't go to
MCU collector.
MCU, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of hots in there. I think it's okay. So I'm hit and miss on this guy a little bit, right? I think it looks fantastic. The head sculpt looks fantastic.
Yeah.
That removable cap is super cool.
The gun smoke looks great.
The gun, yeah.
So I don't know what show he's from, but I think he's from Coming to America.
Yeah, Coming to America Part 2. Yep.
He was in the first one, robbing the McDowells.
Oh, that guy? Yeah.
It's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. That's right. It was.
Well, the problem is what Mike was saying earlier,
Invasion.
He's not a big Marvel fan, so that's why he's not recognized as this is Samuel Jackson playing Nick Fury in the Marvel Secret Invasion. So this is the look from Secret Invasion.
Nick Fury. Is it the guy who got his eye scratched out with a cat?
Yes.
Yes.
So in the comic, so you may have seen an earlier movie with Nick Fury played by David Hasselhoff.
Oh yeah, I have that movie. I own it. It's good.
Ooh.
So the thing is with this figure is because of the coat, I'm worried that he's not going to have a lot of movement in the legs. The only thing that's giving me some hope is that middle picture is showing light right through the jacket, which means there's a split in the back also.
Yeah, there is.
So,
he's missing the gut. I saw the first episode of this, and when he sits in that chair, he's got a pretty big gut.
He does, because he's getting a little older.
Yeah. Where the figure doesn't have the gut.
But I think, So I think everybody agrees. Overall, this is a worthwhile figure. Oh darn! I just crushed that box. Good thing I'm an open box collector. I do use this body right here. This is that Spider-Man. The
Morbius?
No, this is that the Spider-Man Noir.
Oh yeah.
I usually have Flint's head on here with the black beret. So he's kind of like a secret agent, but.
Do you have heads just rolling around loose in your house, like they're just falling all over the place?
Yeah.
You know,
the head actually.
Do you even
fell
know
off.
Do you even know what heads go to the original bodies? Like,
No, I can look.
Have you lost track at this point?
For reference, yeah. Okay,
so Director Krennic. I know that guy.
Director Krennic. Yep.
So I think this is kind of cool. The funny thing is like the upper body, not so much the body, but the jacket is the same jacket that Wu wears, and it's just painted a different color. But I kind of like it because it's like not like it's like jeans, right? He's wearing like blue jeans. He's not wearing. So I think this is a good figure. I think I'm gonna get
now. Is this one where you get like different hands and a head, and they just switch? You just switch them.
Okay, so here's the problem. When they sent out the promo pics, they only sent these two. So they didn't send like the picture of everything they come with because I think they are trying to hold off the Build-A-Figure stuff, but that's already been revealed, right? So from the pictures I've seen, it's going to have the hands and the two heads. But
somehow that neck is part of the head and it pops into the.
Yeah. Well, you know that.
Because you can see the green neck on the one figure and a peach neck on the other.
Yeah, so it'll be. I was looking up here for. Okay, so like some of the figures. Well, where's it? Okay, so here's Recondo. Let me just take this down for a second. So here's Recondo, and if I pull his head off, his head comes off, but also this neck comes
yes. It's a separate part too. Okay,
you can take the neck off. And the one Iron Man figure from the MCU when they did the 20th anniversary or whatever has like the Iron Man where he after the snap, so you can have him without the helmet, and that piece removes from the lower portion of the neck so that you get the Iron Man part on his neck.
Gotcha.
So that's the way it was designed.
Yeah.
I was trying to find it because I'm pretty sure that's how it was designed. I'm just saying it, but the original influence for Sid in Toy Story. Yep, I probably the guy probably had a friend like me who just took all his figures apart. Body is average. Love the heads. The meh button.
Well, wouldn't that be not then?
Yeah.
You want
Definitely
hot,
not.
not, or meh?
I'll have to add a meh in there. $25 kit bash fodder. Yeah, the thing is with this guy, I'm hoping this guy will end up being more of a clearance figure, because having figures like this where they're like very plain like outfits lets somebody who's doing like customs or something like that be able to take like their Shang-Chi figure and put him in like regular clothes, right?
Cute.
And then give him another look. Because I did this one where I put a jacket on him instead of having him in his outfit his superhero outfit.
Yeah.
Because most of the movie he's walking around in like casual wear.
Yeah.
He looks like he's from Greece.
Yeah. He had that jacket when he was doing the fight scene on the bus. I felt like that should have been the look. They should have did a 2-pack with him and the Aquafina character and did them in there like with their red vests because they were ballets or whatever.
Oh, geez. Now Sonny wants a fail button. So now you got to have hot, not, or meh, or fail.
Okay, here, check this out. So here's the secret about these emoji buttons. I will tell you. It only lets you make a certain number of emojis based on the number of like members you have. I'm not lying about this. I'm not just trying to get people to join, but like at a certain point, you can have like 10 or something like that. So I think I still have space to make some. But if I get to a point where I can't make any more, like it's based on that, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, dandy. Okay, let's see. This is the Mafex Batman.
Is that a bendable cape, like foldable?
Yeah, I think it's cloth with like wires and stuff in it.
Yeah.
That's why they got it all fancied out. I think they look really good. The Mafex. I mean, it's Mafex Batman, and then they got the Mafex Bane, and then
well, that's the Batman from the Nightfall. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like I know that. I think they look fantastic. I can't afford to be buying a bunch of Mafex figures though. So it's really tough for me to say, oh yeah, I'm going to break down and get this Mafex, right? Like there probably will be one or two that I'll see that I do want, but it's not going to be either of these, even though I think they look fantastic.
What's that wrestling movie's doing on him?
Yeah, well, that's I had talked about this before, Mike, on the show. Like, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or anything like that, but I sometimes take the promo pics that Hasbro puts out for their Marvel Legends and stuff, and I superimpose them in like casual scenes, because I think that when they do like a image like this, I actually took this one and put him on a catwalk.
Looks like
yeah,
right. And so it's on my YouTube page and my community. I got him superimposed on a catwalk because I mean this to me looks like he's on the edge of the catwalk showing the summer wears. When I look at promo pics, I just can't figure out sometimes why they do them. I mean, I don't take the best pictures either. And I know that Shooting the Galaxy does like most of the Hasbro ones and stuff like that. And I'd probably give them the biggest, hardest time. But the Marvel Legends likes to do this thing with no background or whatever. And they just don't, they're not exciting. And some of them look kind of weird. Like, even if you go back to like this picture, this one of Samuel Jackson with his one arm up and his other arm down. I mean, I could have had him put him on the dance floor with a still with like John Travolta and Uma Thurman in that scene where they were dancing, and he would almost look like he was dancing with them in Pulp Fiction, right? But I didn't do what I wanted to, but I didn't. But I make fun of some of the promo pics because I think like some people do a really good job because they use those diorama type shooting.
Yeah. I think G.I. Joe Classified, they do some of the greatest ones. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that guy does a great job on it. Expensive emojis. Too expensive. I got affiliate neighborhood. Let's see. 5 BOA. Bane has an Apple Watch. Yeah. And I wanted to make fun of that somehow. Like I wanted to do like a thought bubble where he was like typing, but it was like misspelling all the words or something. Oh, what do you guys think about this Vader? Everybody's saying it looks fantastic. This is the
Oh,
SH.
it looks good, yeah. But I've already signed up to get the Hot Toys one, so I'm not getting this one.
But this one's going to be in like more of the 6-inch scale, right?
Yeah, but if I'm going to pay a premium price, I want it to be 12 inches.
Does it make a difference that when you're a Black Series collector and then a company like SH Figure Arts beats Hasbro to the punch in having this like open helmeted Vader? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I
like
guess that then they go, oh, if so and so can do it, they'll just spam Hasbro's chat and say, oh, SH Figure Arts are doing it. Why are you doing it? Why isn't
right.
it in Black Series yet? Yeah.
And then this lightsaber that they do for SH Figure Arts, I'm waiting for Hasbro to start adding in like a blade like this, which I think
The wide blade. Are you talking about
the wide one that looks like it's in motion.
They've already done that.
They did it with Dooku.
Yeah,
Dooku's
they
figure.
did it with Dooku. And
Oh, well, I want them to do it with Vader and Luke, and every time they give you a lightsaber figure.
do they actually light up like the first picture?
No, that's probably like
special effects.
They probably just.
Well, that deceived me. Then I would have bought this and been pissed.
Oh, false marketing! I wanted it to light up. Yeah, the swooshing blade. Yeah, they did that with. I can only think of Dooku. I can't think of anyone else they did it with.
Yeah,
he has an only Sith
page. Yeah. Play Arts Kai, Darth Vader has a motion lightsaber, which looks dope. Yeah. Okay, and then this is
holy crap! It's like Cave Catwoman,
barefoot. Yeah. Wow.
Or I guess it's Batwoman, but from a cave.
That man, I can go to a convention in a couple of years' time, and I'll see a woman dressed like this.
Yeah,
probably, yeah.
The barefoot thing.
Is anybody getting these? Mayfex, 70-ish, not too bad. The Hot Toys IG-12 says yes and no. That's pretty cool. Batwoman. Yeah, I think they look pretty cool. I'm not that into like a lot of the DC, and unfortunately, I collected more of the DC characters when Mattel was making those 6-inch line.
They were cool.
Yeah, once McFarlane started making that 7-inch line, it's hard for me to like look at them on the shelf and say, yeah, I think I'm going to take them home because they just don't go with anything that I got. You know what I mean?
So this is 10,000 BC. So she was fighting woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers. Is that the time frame?
Two-faced tiger. She was fighting two-faced saber-tooth
tiger. Yeah.
And Captain Caveman.
Oh yeah.
A question I have: there's two here. Is one a chase or something?
I think that's what it is. One might be like an exclusive or the.
Well, are they? Is that McFarlane?
I believe it. I believe they are.
Yeah, then he does all kinds of color variations. Yeah.
He does like this gold label thing. So
yeah.
Hard pass.
Oh, I wouldn't buy this either. No way. It's not comic book enough for me.
Yeah. Okay, so this was the Marvel Legends reveal for the next wave of the Disney Plus. You can see that Jackson's in the Secret Invasion. So this will probably be the next Disney Plus wave. And it's got like a Build-A-Figure. Yeah, the Build-A-Figure is the cartoon version of that robot that Steve Rogers flies around in.
Oh, so is it a what-if version?
Yeah, it's the what-if version. Okay. So you get Kingpin, which I think looks fantastic because it's D'Onofrio, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking
body was a little small though.
I'm gonna put that head on one of the Favreau bodies that I have, because then it'll slim them down a little bit, and then I'm gonna have them solve crimes in New York in my Law and Order Criminal Intent series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That's the first thing I remember seeing him in. Kingpin's head is way too big.
Or the body's too small. That's what I'm trying to say.
The body's too small, too slim. What?
Because the legs look right.
Okay, Eric.
It's just the white vest body part that's slim. Because the legs are thick. Look how thick the legs are.
Yeah.
You know, it's It's the body that's too small, not the head. It's too big.
And then they have the What If Gamora.
Like got the glove like with the Infinity Gamora.
I don't think she has the Infinity Gauntlet in there, right?
Oh no, I guess not. Yeah, it's just.
But
she's
she
wearing
is.
Thanos armor though.
Yeah, she is the warrior Gamora or whatever. So she's got his blade and stuff like that. And I think it looks okay. I mean, I have the What If versions of the from the last set, and they're basically in a tote in my garage. The only one that's still on the shelf is the Captain Carter.
Have you ever watched that Bladesmith guy that he shows how to use a lot of medieval weapons
No,
on YouTube?
I don't.
But
I don't.
he'll also get like weapons we see in fantasy films, and he did this Thanos blade in one of his videos and showed that the way that it's built, he cut his arm off like 5 times using it.
Oh, the Thanos one?
Yeah, you can't. The way that it's built, where the handle is, you actually can't wield it without cutting one of your arms off.
Oh.
It was funny. It was a good.
Well, I don't know. I saw a movie
video.
where he wielded it.
Oh, I know but it was fake. You know.
It was a movie, and this
Yeah.
is the Agatha Harkness.
Yeah, lots of chunky plastic there, but not for me. But I think it's a good figure. I'm just saying I wouldn't buy it. But
I think it's a little bit too late.
it is kind of late. Yeah, you're like, why did this come out now? Yeah.
I know she's got her own show coming up, but I wish that they would have come out with this before.
Well, isn't she part of a?
She's going to have her own show. She's going to have her own show.
Like a full on her own show. No one else is
her
in
own
it.
show. But I think like they should have come out with this.
I know. I know, Maud. I'm just trying to say, you know. Yeah.
What if? Yeah.
Yeah, they should just make all the zombies. Yeah. I don't want a show with just her. That just seems like I don't think
there'll be other people in there. It'll be all witchcraftery.
Ooh, is this the new Jurassic Park? Look at that.
Yeah, this is the Hammond collection or whatever. So I don't know if you saw the picture, but the guy's sitting there at the table, and it's like, you know, sits on the table from his waist, and the head comes up to the top of his head, so it's pretty big. Or do you collect these, John?
I like the big dinosaurs. Yeah, I've got the Titanosaur, and I want the new one, the new Gigam, or what the hell is it called?
The 93 one?
The new one is like the Apothecosaurus or something. I don't know. It's like it's a new sauropod like this guy is, but
you have to brush up on your Latin.
He's like 5 feet long or something in there. But yeah, this one. I never got the old Brachiosaurus, which I wish I did. So this one might be on my radar. Yeah.
Does it come with the trees, or is that just part of the box art?
Yeah, I think that's part of the box art.
That looks fantastic. The box art.
Yeah. If it comes with Hammond, that'd be even better. I see a little Hammond figure in there.
Yeah.
Do you buy any of this? Do you buy any of these, Mike?
Jurassic Park, yes, but not for me, for my son.
Okay, so he's really into them. So do you think this is going to end up at your house?
Possibly. Yeah.
See, I wait for these ones to go on clearance. Like the
T-Rex is big enough. The Brachiosaurus is going to be huge.
Yeah. The T-Rex was huge.
I might be able to reach over and grab that T-Rex. He's not too far away. One sec.
I just got the helicopter with the one dinosaur because it went on clearance at Walmart. So
would have loved these guys when I was a kid. As it is now, no room for another line, especially if that one takes up that much space.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, you can always send the Razor Crest over to my house, and then I'll hold on to that for you.
The sauropods take up a lot of space. They're massive. Yeah.
Wait, I hear it. Is it going to wake everybody up?
Yeah, every time I touch this guy,
my T-Rex.
Every time I move this guy, it makes noise. Yeah. There he is, the T-Rex.
Wow, that's cool.
You got to open his mouth and make him eat somebody.
Do you remember that pinnacle scene in Return of the Jedi where the T-Rex ate the stormtrooper?
Yeah. It was a good scene.
This is the other guy. I don't know what this one's called. He's smaller than the T-Rex. Is he blue? He's not blue.
He's kind of bluish gray. Yeah, he can get eaten by the T-Rex.
No, he's wondering if it's is it the one that they called blue, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't think it's the one they called blue, but he looks blue.
Yeah. It's not a raptor, no.
Velociraptor or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's a.
Jacob attacked the dinosaur.
Attack the dinosaur. That would be a cool fight.
Yeah. So that's definitely the biggest dinosaur. Everything is like this and smaller. The rest of the collection.
I have the mother-in-law Saurus coming tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh my gosh,
Is she just as big?
Yeah.
and Sonny, like, better ready your great gun.
Oh.
Come on, guys. Wandering around. You guys got dinosaurs down there, right, Mike, in Australia?
Yeah.
Actually, they do. There's a cryptid that people have seen in Australia that looks like the small version of a T-Rex.
Isn't there like a lizard
it's in the museum, Matabarosaurus, I think they call it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any of those dragons, those Komodo dragons or whatever they are?
No, those are on the island of Komodo.
Yeah, they're Indonesian.
Yeah, but if they could swim over.
No.
We've got some in the zoo, but that's about it.
Do you even have monitor lizards?
Yes.
You do have monitors? Okay. Yeah.
So the normal one, the Aussie one's called the goanna, and then there's the monitor, which is the very close relation of the goanna. Yeah. And they get like 8 feet long. They're really, really big ones, and they run like really fast. Like if they're
in a similar. The monitor lizard is a similar family to the Komodo dragon, so that's why I asked. You know.
Yeah, if you got a tiny dog and those monitors are around, grab your dog because they'll eat them. They'll just straight for the chihuahua.
Same with the alligators down here. You got a small dog, keep it away from the water. They'll eat your dog.
My brother has a video that he put on his Instagram where he caught an alligator in a plastic tub.
Okay.
And then walked it back down to the river and threw it in there.
Yeah.
I guess that's a common thing to do in Florida.
Well, if they're small enough, you can just pick them up with your bare hands. Just grab it.
Yeah.
But if they're bigger than we want to grab it, you just put a tub over them, scoop them up. Once they get like 4 or 5 feet,
like Mod Extra next week on the Toy Duo, David Attenborough.
If they get bigger than 4 or 5 feet, you don't want to grab them. You need to like tie a rope around them and drag them down there. But
so this is the Hot Toys Batman from the Flash movie.
Yeah, I'm not getting this one. I'm getting the other '89 Batman. The other one, the one that was announced a couple months ago.
Okay,
that sculpting on the face is just unbelievable.
It just looks amazing, right? Like, I kind of wish. So, do Hot Toys? Do they have head swaps?
I think they do sometimes. Let's look.
Because I know this guy has like a mask, so I'm guessing it's like a full headpiece that swaps, right? I was kind of hoping, like, if they did, they would maybe make his bearded look. You guys saw the movie, right?
Nope.
Okay, never mind then.
Spoiler alert, he's got a beard.
He has a beard at one point.
Coming soon. Okay.
Yeah. Let's tell Geek Strong that since he wasn't responding earlier as being the first person in the chat, we gave his gift for being the first person in the chat to the other first person who was in the chat.
Oh. He's not going to worry. He's got that pop-up R2D2 lightsaber. It didn't have a sticker on it, but you could put a repro sticker on it. It's still that I watched that video he found.
Yep. And you know what though? John would have nothing to do with it because Dino put a repro sticker on it, which devalued the actual.
Oh my goodness. No, that's not. That's different, dude. The R2D2 pop-up lightsaber that I've had since I was a kid has a repro sticker on it.
What? That completely devalues it, John.
It was devalued when the sticker got ripped off.
When it was naked.
You can't get an original sticker, so
you
have to go with.
This is.
I don't see this. I don't see this one from the Flash. I see the Batman 1989. Which is the one I've pre-ordered, and then I don't see the Batman from the Flash. They have the Flash from the Flash, and they have.
So this is the. If you look at their Twitter page, Hot Toys Official, they've released these pictures from the Flash series. This is the Ben Affleck version of the Batman with the bike.
But they didn't put it on the
It's not on their website because they're just like showing you ahead of time what's coming up.
Well, why wouldn't they put it on the website? That's stupid.
I don't think it's available to order yet. But I mean,
none of these are. They're on a wait list for them to come out for pre-order.
Yeah, so I think they're just revealing that. They're reveals.
So there's going to be 4 different Batmans at the same time.
So just want to get this out in the open. John has seen these here first.
Yes, exactly.
So we were the first to reveal these Batman photos from Hot Toys.
To me, yes.
So hopefully, like the Google or the YouTube analytics are going to pick up on that phrase.
They have the new Inquisitor 12-inch figure hot toy that's going to be in Ahsoka on the website. They're spoiling it. I can see your face
On the Ahsoka?
from the Ahsoka show coming up.
Yeah.
They just ruined it for me. I didn't in the trailer. I couldn't see your face. Now I can. Oh, there's another Batman. Here's a Batman from The Adventures Continue. Jesus, there's going to be 4 or 5 Batmans out at the same exact time.
Yeah. And this is the Flash. He looks just as slow as he looks in the movie, by the way. And which is really weird to me. Like, I'm just going to spoil this part. There's a part where he's running in the movie. And you guys know there's time travel involved because obviously he goes back to 1989. Right? Because, you know, Keaton's in it. He doesn't really. You understand.
When he runs, does he get up to 88 miles an hour?
Yeah, something like that. And then he gets the lightning, the whole thing. The flux capacitor goes off. No, but what the concept is based on the actual Flash, which is Crisis on Infinite Earths and stuff like that, and how he's able to like go back in time or whatever. And he changes it, so he comes back in a different timeline. But there's a part where he's like doing this, and it's like then he stops like running, and I'm like, I don't know why he doesn't just fall out of this like travel, but it's okay like that they did it, but it's just kind of a weird like, oh, okay, well, is he not running? So he just fall out of this zone or whatever type of thing. But you know, it had to further the story. So no mention of Val.
The story wouldn't happen. Yeah.
So watching this movie, I think that's my last one. I was going to throw the promo for the Supergirl that they're going to come out with from the movie for Hot Toys, but I did that last week. It looks pretty good. I'm waiting for them to reveal further pictures. But talking about the Flash, and because G-Force is mentioning Val Kilmer, do you remember there was like this animated Batman show? John will know. Mike probably. You don't. Not a big DC. Me, I don't watch many cartoons, but I remember there was a Batman cartoon where there was a younger kid. Was it called Batman Beyond? Where Batman makes him the new Batman, but he's like in his ear from the mansion, like telling him, do this, do that. Because Batman kind of incapacitated.
Batman was like in a wheelchair and he was old, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Wouldn't a movie like that with Val Kilmer just be really cool?
Yeah.
Where
that
like
would
Val
work.
Kilmer would be like the Batman from his line of Batman, his, you know, being the Batman in the movie, his timeline or whatever, but then he's like incapacitated in the future and has to train this kid through teaching him techniques or whatever.
So you want to do like the Batman Beyond?
Yes, but a movie and then have Val Kilmer be the Batman.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. And if they really wanted to, I think where Warner Brothers is missing their mark is like they're not capturing. I mean, this movie should have captured on the nostalgia, right? So they really beefed up the whole Keaton thing, trying to get people to go to the theater. I don't think it's doing that well in the theater. I think it's partly because of the actor who plays the Flash is holding people back a little bit. But I think if they really wanted to capture, they could get that Chris O'Donnell who played Robin in Batman and then do a Nightwing movie where basically has been running
I see what you're saying.
As Nightwing, but he's much older, right? And he's bitter because he was like never able to take over the Batman mantle or whatever.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then I think it hits two marks, right? You are recapturing the people who were seeing those movies, and then you got like this guy carrying this on instead of just getting somebody new. Batman and Scooby-Doo was the best.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Keaton and Affleck. Affleck in 10 years will be a great Bruce Wayne. He needs to be older. I don't think. Well, I'll let you have your opinion. I can't say that's wrong because I've already said it on the show before that I don't think somebody's opinion can be wrong. Only facts can be like right or wrong, right? If you have an opinion, that's your opinion. I did not like Ben Affleck as Batman.
Can I ask how many movies did Affleck make as Batman?
Really, just one.
Was it one?
He never made a Batman movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, he was only in the Justice League and that Batman v Superman. So it wasn't like his own standalone movie. And then he's in this movie, The Flash. And I think he had a scene in Suicide Squad, but I'm not sure if it was cut.
Oh, that was right at the end, wasn't it? That's something I did see. Suicide Squad. Yeah, right at the very end. He was talking to Viola Davis.
There was
she
like
hands him a file or something. Was it an after scene? Was it a post-credit scene?
I think there was a scene in the first Suicide Squad where he was chasing the Joker or something, right?
Yeah. Well, but I don't. Did you even see him though? I don't even know if we saw him. Did we see him?
I feel like
Or
I
was
saw that.
we saw the Batmobile, but I mean, did we see him?
So he's never made a film, but he gets talked about as Batman all the time. It's amazing.
Yeah. And he was supposed to be doing his own standalone, but I guess that got the kibosh when
it all died.
Gunn came in and is revamping the entire line. So their new DC tentpole is going to be Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Blue Beetle's coming.
That's going to launch the DC universe.
Oh sure, a character most people never heard of. Just fine.
Payne's toy sample, but I guess if you think about the Blue Beetle could be a sleeper, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Because not many people.
No, it totally could be.
What's this Guardians of the Galaxy thing? But when people left that Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean, there were a lot of people that were like, "Oh man, that is like one of the best movies." Had a great soundtrack, had a really feel good theme to it, had a good amount of humor in it, right? I don't know if you can recreate that. That's the problem.
Capture that lightning in a bottle again.
Yeah, that's what they're hoping for. Gap is calling it a bomb. The box office. George Lopez should not have been in Blue Beetle. Peacemaker season 2.
When I see these Blue Beetles, I was like, all I can think of is like John Lennon saying, "We're going to be growing fetus now." I don't know.
Ben Affleck's made some pretty good movies, but I never liked him as Batman. That I'll just say that now. I said it a few minutes ago, but everybody's complimenting him on all his movies. Let me think. Good Will Hunting, yeah, that was Matt Damon. And what's the comedian?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Mork.
Then let's see.
Nano.
Argo. Yeah, that was a decent movie. That was a good historical film.
Mork from Ork. I could get a Mork from Ork figure. I could get behind that.
So what do you guys got coming up this week?
This week, there's more GI Joe. There's another panel. There's another, not a panel.
Oh, they're going to do more reveals?
Yeah.
Isn't there HasLab coming to an end pretty soon?
Yeah, 25 days. I think it's 25 days.
Oh, okay. So that's a good idea to take another $50 to $75 out of people's pockets that haven't backed the HasLab yet.
Yeah, I think there's Crimson Viper. Is it Crimson Viper? I gotta remember who it is. Firefly and someone else. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I saw
they're rumored
the
to-
yeah. There, who was it? Who was it, John? That they were saying might be the next reveal. Let's see.
I'll have a little squiz. It is.
I'm looking for it because it's Full Force Podcast, I think.
Possibly Ripper and possibly Helix.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I'm gonna end up having to buy at least one or two of those. Nunchuck.
Wasn't Helix first in the was it Evolution or the
Good question.
or was
Yeah,
it Sigma, was it the Sigma 6? Was Helix the Sigma 6 one?
I
don't know.
Remember.
Firefly.
Yeah, there's a new Firefly. Yeah.
Yeah. A better looking Firefly than the other one, by the way.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So Mike, I got to ask you a question. I think I asked you ahead of time, but I wanted to ask now that we're live. When you see the promotional art, do you yourself go through like the pictures and try to look in the background and look for secrets and stuff like that, or do you just let? So
mostly for GI Joe because they do all those promo shots where they got the characters in the background. But by the time I've like looked through them and checked them all out, people have already posted them on Instagram going, "Oh, look at this, look at this." So I can't really say, "Oh, look, I saw this first," because there's always someone else out there who's spotted it. And then the Instagrammers will usually put it up a lot quicker than the YouTuber can, because posting a photo is a lot quicker than producing a video.
Right.
So those guys always jump on it before us. But yeah, I'll analyze it well. But there's a lot of sleuths out there who will just really get into the nitty gritty and like almost Sherlock Holmes style. I've seen this. I can tell that's this, because I think one of the last photos I had was Nightwatch, Cobra Nightwatch. Does that sound right? They think they're in the background of a photo, and I was like, how did you pick that? It's a blurry mess, and they can just take the picture, zoom in, sharpen it up, and try and change a few filters to get some of the colors a bit different. And yeah, it's amazing.
GeForce is asking me to take it easy on Valavorce because they're a small company trying to do big things. He knows that I jest a lot, but some folks don't take it that way. I think he's talking about because earlier in the week, like they did a video on their channel where they said they were reducing prices because their productions were higher, so they were saving money on production costs. But at Joe Fest, they said that they were going to go to that bubble packaging, which was a cost-cutting method. So I basically just asked them in the video, like, hey, how much of this is coming from your new packaging? And they still haven't responded to me.
Maybe they don't have a price for it yet.
I finally saw the new vehicle in action.
The Valavorce
Watch Extraction 2, and there's a point in Extraction 2 where they take 3 vehicles to fight off it, and the middle vehicle is the Valavorce vehicle, and the other 2 are trucks of some kind.
Right.
They crash it and it flips over and explodes or something, but it's still in the movie. But I was like, hey, there you go, it's in action. They used the Valavorce vehicle.
Right. I'm not responsible for crashing the Valavorce site, hitting the refresh button. But I did get banned from their website for about 15 minutes.
Wow.
So I think what their website does is it prioritizes it. So if you are really into like all the techie stuff or whatever, right? And like you go to a website multiple times while a lot of people are trying to go to the website and it's causing like congestion. What websites do is they have something built into them to say, hey, here's somebody who keeps coming back. Let's block out their IP for 15 minutes to give other people a chance.
Put into timeout. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're basically putting a timeout. It's a normal thing that websites do. I don't have any problem with that. I don't actually have any problem with Valavorce. I think they're doing some really good stuff. I think I've said it before. I've actually made videos where I think a video recently where I said the competition between them is fantastic. The reason why I asked that question on their one video is because at Joe Fest, they said they were cost cutting by changing the packaging. But then in this other video, they said that it's because of their production costs are dropping because they're able to order more, which totally makes sense. But if you're doing if you're doing cost cutting method and your costs are reducing, I think, and you're going to make a specific video talking about lowering your prices, you should just mention the whole reason why you're doing it, unless you're only doing it for this, and then this is going to be more profit for you. Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, if you look at the snow character
Serpent?
from the Snow Serpent, it's $35. So
Yeah.
it's up there about what you would pay for a Valaverse figure.
Yeah, I've noticed the GI Joes are getting close to the Valaverse price. I think because they see, I actually think that they're doing it because of Valaverse. They're seeing that people are buying Valaverse at the higher price point. So Hasbro is saying but they're also throwing in more guns. So they're saying, like, let's throw in a couple more accessories and up the price and be really direct competition for Valaverse. You know what I mean? They're like, because they also have changed over the years the style of the weaponry and given them multiple colors, and you know what I mean? Like, and with the magazines that come in and out, like, that's all. Hasbro's only doing that now because of Valaverse. So they're taking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Valaverse has basically made Hasbro up their game with the GI Joe.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
That they've done a great job at getting into the market and throwing up some awesome figures that are very competitive. I mean, like, I just took out my bone collector. Where is he? And this guy just looks fantastic, you know?
Yeah.
And the helmet, the little face piece comes off. I mean, it's a pretty plain head and stuff like that, but I think it just looks great. And the fact that it comes off, it's not molded and you don't have to swap the head. All of this body armor and stuff comes off too.
Yeah.
Right? I
just wish for a smaller company that a lot of their stuff from the first couple series were still available.
Right.
Like,
these were all re-releases.
Yeah, but even some of the re-releases are gone. You know what I mean?
Well, they sold out. They did sell out right away, like when they re-released that first week. But they got more stuff coming.
See, I just don't. I guess what it is I look back to the olden days where, like, in 1985 you could still buy a GI Joe from 1982. They were still in production. Do you know what I mean? In 1983, when Return of the Jedi was out, you could still go get Farm Boy Luke Skywalker, and you could get a Stormtrooper because they were still in production. Like, why? Where in our life did we make the switch to where figures are only available for, say, 6 months or whatever, instead of being available for, like, the entire time the line exists? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's like this wave is only available for this window of opportunity.
Yeah,
you miss that opportunity.
You
then
missed it, and you're done. But when we grew up, you could get any figure at any time. From 1979 or 78 all the way to 1983, you could get a Stormtrooper. You could get Luke Skywalker. They were all on the shelf, just in different packaging. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you look at what's happening now, I mean, like, Hasbro's still trying to put out quantity of some stuff. The problem is they have things just sitting on the shelf because they've been overproduced now.
Yeah.
Right.
And if it's a weak wave, if the wave has some weak characters that aren't
you just don't push those out the door. But I mean, there's some of them. Obviously, people still want the first Ahsoka. They want the first Darth Maul because those are hundreds of dollars on eBay. So if you just continually made them, you'd be making that money instead of, you know what I mean?
Instead of scalpers making them. The problem with like what you're saying with like Valaverse and their special deployment series or whatever that they got, where they're re-releasing the Wave 1 that you couldn't get for a long time. It says coming soon on their website. So the thing is like, if you heard what they said about the Joe Fest, they had that exclusive Warpath, right? But they almost didn't make it to Joe Fest in time. They had to change the shipment from one port to another port just to get it in. And then somebody else had to sign for it because it got there too soon. And then it was only part of their shipment.
I
So
see.
luckily they had enough for that. And when you're ordering, like, right, like, a big company has the ability to like order. They probably have like Hasbro probably has manufacturing in multiple locations. That's why there's a number stamped on the bottom of the foot, right, to tell you which factory it was made in. And so that's why when there's a problem with a figure like CoverGirl's arms falling off, and you call them, they say, "Well, what's the number on the foot?" Right, because they want to know which plant is making this figure where the arms are falling off.
Oh, okay.
They want to make sure that they take care of that. You got another company who's like, doing its production. It's probably all coming from the same factory, is my guess, and it's all coming as one shipment somewhere, probably up through the Northeast, because they're based out of Rhode Island. I'm talking about Valaverse now, and they're not dealing in the same numbers. You know what I mean? I get it. I totally buy into all of that. I'm still going to collect both because I think they're both fantastic lines, right? Like, I find stuff in both of them that are unique and different.
Yeah, you're an action figure guy.
Yeah. And I, even though like I do have some affinity for like my retro stuff, my old figures, I wish I could get all of my old Star Wars figures, which I have in those cases. I wish I could mirror all of my vintage figures in Black Series, but I can't yet because there's so many of them they haven't bothered with, and I keep waiting, but there's no way I mean, how many years does it take for them to say, "Hey, I guess we should finally make Lobot instead of 8 more Boba Fett's." You know what I mean?
Or characters the one that's rumored coming recently, Morgan Elsbeth. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, like, come on.
New media. They love that new media.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. Not going to have the same thing that between the two companies, but they are taking them to town, right? They are taking them because in that first few waves, of GI Joe, you were getting like one color guns, Well, you weren't getting that with Valaverse in the beginning. You were getting very realistic stuff. With
I think they
paint schemes on it. And
I think they they pushed. Yeah, Valaverse's multicolors on the guns is what pushed Hasbro to do multicolors. I think
If Valaverse can come to stores, especially in this country, that would go really good.
That would be phenomenal. I mean, when you're talking about like Connor from Foolish Figures and Mod Extra Games, they're talking about they can't get them over there because the shipping rates just make getting a figure like that twice as expensive, right? Yeah. And so, I mean, I feel for them. They don't have a place that retails them. So what they need to do is they need to figure out how to get into these other markets. But I get it. They're probably not there yet, right?
A few more years.
Yeah. And eventually they will. I mean, they'll keep growing. I mean, they're not making crappy stuff for sure. They are not. Everything that I've gotten very good quality. I had one issue with a hand one time, and they took care of it within days. I had a replacement. So really good with that. When it comes to like social media and stuff like that, they never respond to me, and it's fine. I get it. Neither does Hasbro, right?
With ours, if I buy something at EB Games and it's a Black Series figure, and it's say it's broken or something, it rattles around the box, you can see a loose leg, loose arm. You take it back to the store and say, "I bought this the other day. Here's my receipt." They'll give you the money back. From there, that's it. You get either your money back, or if they've got the figure, you get another one. But if they don't, that's as quickly. You don't deal with Hasbro at all. You just deal with the company who sold it.
So Dino's saying like, "How's Bragtown?" Because I'm showing off my vintage Star Wars. But what he meant to say is what I always say: "How's bragging camp going for you?" That's that show. You ever seen the show Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis or whatever?
I have heard of it.
Yeah, he does this. He plays like a talk show host, but he always asks these like really rude questions. Then he does this thing. So, how's bragging camp going?
80 quid for a single Action Force figure is not fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, at those prices, you really gotta want it, right? Like it's like me with like a Mafex or an SH Figure Arts. I did get Batman '89 in the SH Figure Arts, and it's a great looking figure. The problem is the scale is not really 1/12, right? It's a little bit shorter than my 6-inch figures, and so it doesn't really play well. So it's kind of one that just kind of stays in the box. I should have known it wasn't going to be proper scale, but it was one that was available, so I picked it up.
Are you collecting Indiana Jones at all?
I do.
Because I'm up to three Adventure Line series now. I'm love it. Did you get a good face? Did you get a good face? Oh, better than mine. Oh, yeah, you get the funny eyes too. The eyes that sort of like look like this.
Yeah, a little bit. But I've replaced the belt and the whip.
Oh,
this is from a company called Gridiron Studios, and they make like a belt, a whip that's like wired, so you can pose it, and then it comes with a different pistol, which is not like a flimsy piece
in that holster,
and it's not a flimsy piece of plastic. Yeah, and
that's cool.
And it's painted.
Oh, luxury. That's really good.
Yeah, they do some really good stuff. I've been pretty impressed with them. I have posted a bunch of pictures of everything that I have gotten from them, and I see that he always throws up the Gridiron Studios always throws people's pictures in their story, but they haven't graced me with putting me in their story at all. So that's fine.
Oh,
I'll still order from them. I just get ignored. It's fine.
Well, you don't order thousands of dollars of stuff.
I don't.
Yeah. See, they pick those people first.
Probably.
Okay, that's a good choosing. Yes.
So I just got so I bought the cigar box from Gridiron Studios, which has like the little cigars.
Oh,
Nice.
look at that.
And then it comes with there was a cigar with like smoke effects.
Well, that's a lot of smoke coming off that good cigar. Jeez.
Right.
It's flaming.
Yeah.
They had two like smoky ones, so I put one right. Like there's a shorter version of it.
Oh, lady smoker. Oh, there you go.
And then it came
I'm trying
with
to think who's famous for cigars.
it's really like one or two like that you can like full size that they can have out, and then or you can just have them in the box or whatever. So I did get this. I wasn't going to because I felt like it was a little bit expensive, but like what happened was last week, where is it? They had a Father's Day thing, and if you ordered from them, you got a free rifle. So I thought that was kind of cool. Usually these are about like $10. So basically, it cut the cost. To me, it cut the cost of the cigars in half, and then a little bit more reasonable because
I get what you mean. Yeah, you get an extra thing for the price. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was waiting for them to do something because they had done something previously where they gave you. I got another rifle from them because it was Memorial. Was it Memorial Day that just passed? They did a deal on that if you ordered during that weekend.
I'm reading G-Force is coming.
Are they Cuban?
Are they Cuban?
Mold Pyres too. He's
What?
For his Monica doll. Yeah.
Blunts or cigars.
Blunts or cigars. I'll be waiting for the Winston Churchill action figure.
Yes, that's so funny. Toy regulation. Lieutenant Columbo, yeah. If I had a Schwarzenegger figure, I would already have pictures of like the Terminator figure or whatever with the cigars, right? Because that's how I always see Arnold.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold.
All right. So you got some reveal. So you're gonna do the GI Joe reveals this week. You got anything else going on, Mike, for your channel?
I hope to pick up some more Indiana Jones adventure series.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get the first wave so I can complete the arc.
The arc.
Yeah, I've only got Indy, Salah, and Marion. Just waiting on Tote and Belloc.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's
they're sold in a department store in this country called JB Hi-Fi, which is like a Best Buy. But where I live, Best Buy is thousands of miles away.
Oh my gosh, no, that's
yeah.
Thousands of miles.
Thousands of miles.
Thousands.
What do you have coming up this week? Besides your thing with Super Pete, where you're going to go through that bag and figure out what everything is.
Yeah, we're going to do that, but I don't know. I have a number of things that I should do. I mean,
Nice.
I've got the Yoda hot toy that showed up. There's what is it? Oh, I want to do the Spawn comparison video. There's the White Queen from Marvel Legends. I need to open. I finally finished my original Serpentor. I bought his dagger and the thing that goes on his back, and the snake that comes with him. So now that that's complete, I want to do a video on that. I got the file card, so I want to do that as a video now that it's complete. It's just getting to all these. I don't know. Yeah.
Are you going to make a video of how you're going to pick up all your boxes, put them in the truck, drive to your mom's, put them down?
People have asked for that. They want to see a video of moving everything over.
Thing. And I want to see the space. I want to see some like time lapse shots of the space in your place, like you know how it opens up. And then I think you should just leave a time lapse camera in there.
They want me to put cameras in the corner of the rooms and just like do it. Yeah,
do it.
And then
just leave it on 24/7.
Videos on the Yodas. The vinyl cape Yoda.
The vinyl cape Yoda.
Yeah.
That's something special.
So
that's a repro.
He was $2.
Yeah.
The cape is custom. The figure is real.
Yeah, that's like somebody went out and painted that Yoda, and John claims that it's valueless.
Well, it was $2.
That's a lot more than they paid in 1980.
That was no. He was $1.99. He was some stores. He was $1.99. This is the expensive one. This was from Babaluga Studios. But I didn't buy it.
You bought that.
I didn't buy it from Babaluga Studios. I got this from the guy who was selling his collection of customs, and so he went for $7. So I had to pay $7 for this.
Oh no! I can't believe you bought that for $7. That's just something somebody made.
I know it's worthless. Yeah.
Yeah, to John.
Yeah. So
unpacking video with time lapse. I think you should just do all of that live stream the drive. You could be talking in the car.
The whole drive, it's an hour and a half.
He needs a cameraman. He needs his hands to be able to pick up boxes and steer the cars.
I've seen people driving in their cars. They just put the little camera up on the window with a little suction cup thing. He doesn't want to film himself in the car because I feel like, I'm just going to say this, John. I feel like you're driving down the road and somebody cuts you off and you're rolling the window down and you're
I'm just little bastard.
You're going to your little ashtray looking for pennies to throw.
Throw at him. Yep. No, I've done it. I mean, I filmed when I moved from Seattle to Florida. There were periods in each state where I filmed. Yeah, Commando. He throws a circular saw blade and chops someone's top of their head off in Commando. He walks up. Arnold is so strong. He walks up to a giant, thick chain. The links are like that big around. They're giant. And he goes, psh, and snaps it. He just psh, like opens the door. It's just like unbelievable. Yeah. Commando's a great movie. I own it. It's a good one.
G-Force is asking if cars still have ashtrays.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
That's actually
Bird's cars do. Apparently, Bird's cars still do.
You know what it is? If you look in my car, the center console, I have the 2 drink holders. Then I have like a really small one like this. And what's in there is probably like some change, loose change. Yeah. But I bet you that's supposed to be an ashtray.
No, that's where you put the key fob. If you have a push start car,
yeah,
that's when I'm driving, I'm your key fob. Your key fob's supposed to go in that little tiny hole. Yeah.
Why wouldn't I just keep my key fob in my pocket?
Because some people don't.
But then you get out of your car and your key fob's still in the car.
Yeah, you got to pick it up just like you would your normal key.
But if
it's for old people. Old people like to put their key fob somewhere. They put it in a little cup. Trust me, I drive with old people. They do that. They put it in that little tiny hole because they don't like it. They like to take it out. They take the key fob out and open the door, even though you walk up to the door and it opens by itself with it in your pocket. You know what I mean?
Okay. Josh is saying during the summer he drives his old 60s Plymouth and Dodges. Definitely have huge ashtrays, but no cup holders. Priorities. You know what? I have
Yeah.
a 1960 Dodge pickup truck that I need to restore. I really need to find a trustworthy mechanic. If anybody is in the Southern California area or knows somebody in the Southern California area, please let me know who works on old vehicles.
There are a lot of customizers and rebuild people in Southern California throughout all those TV shows.
Yeah, the problem is like, so they got some
charge $100,000 a car to
yeah,
fix.
they got some bigger companies,
Yeah.
and I got a price quote like, hey, if you did a frame up restoration on this truck, how much would it cost? And they were like, oh, we're looking at a starting price of $60,000. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it runs, so why is it $60,000? But I do want to get it restored one day, but I can't spend that much money.
Yeah. Oh, I would just do it myself, but I did that when I was younger. I used to restore cars, so I had a 1967 Impala. I had the car that is in Supernatural. Yeah.
Ooh.
The 1967 Impala.
You know what? Hold on. When you said that right now, I'm going to tell you what I thought of and see if you go, I had the Impala that was in Supernatural. Yeah. You said, yeah, just like that. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that John Lovitz when he used to do that skit. He's like, yeah, I wrote the phone book. That's it. I wrote the phone book.
Yeah. I wrote the phone book.
You were totally channeling that same character. So
I got pictures of me. I got pictures of me in my McDonald's uniform getting out of that '67 Impala.
Yeah, wouldn't that have changed? Yeah, the uniforms over the years.
Yeah,
I think they update the McDonald's uniform every 5 years.
Is there even a uniform nowadays? Can't you just wear your street clothes and they have like a name tag or something, and that's it, right?
The kids here who run McDonald's, I've seen them. The people who run the cafe part wear blue, and the people who run the restaurant part wear red.
Oh yeah.
That's in Australia anyway.
Yeah,
because remember Australia, we invented that McCafe. It's an Aussie invention, so most Australian McDonald's have McCafe built into the McDonald's.
Gotcha.
It's actually a separate.
We just put the name on the thing and serve coffee. Yeah,
they just took the regular coffee cups and put McCafe on there.
Yeah, and just serve the coffee and that. Yeah, they don't really have a separate cafe like thing.
And you're like, oh, can I get a vanilla latte? And yeah, they break out that vanilla creamer.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, see, Mopar's saying it too. Yeah, I think they wear street clothes now. Yeah.
Wow.
And they just have like a name tag or something, or they have the hat. They might have the hat, and that's it. Yeah.
I think at the McDonald's that I've been to, they have
because same with like Walmart and stuff.
They have some vest or something that they wear.
Yeah, like Walmart's the same way. You can wear your street clothes, but you have like a vest, or a hat or something they put on.
Well, when I worked at Target, we were told to wear khaki pants and a red shirt.
In a red shirt, yeah.
Yeah, khaki pants and a red shirt, but we were expected to come up with a khaki pants and red shirts. And then they gave us a red vest. But you didn't have to wear the vest if you were wearing a red shirt.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you didn't wear a red shirt, you had to wear the red vest. It was like a weird thing. I liked wearing the vest, though, because you had a couple pockets right here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's a Grimace shake right now. Yeah, Grimace.
What? Oh, we're going to have to end this.
There's a Grimace shake. Yeah. It's the birthday blueberry. It's a Grimace shake. It's purple, but it tastes like blueberry. Yeah.
Does it leave your tongue purple? That's all I need to know.
I don't think it turns your tongue purple.
The style.
To make uniforms are styled after streetwear. That's because they're streetwear. McCafe is also in Germany.
Excellent.
They have their own jeans. Oh.
Well, how does Sonny know anything about Germany now? He lives in Australia now.
He lived in Germany. Come on.
Yeah, but but he's been in Australia for almost a year. He doesn't know anything.
He used to live in the part of Germany where they had air conditioning.
Germany could have completely changed in this last year. He knows nothing
now. Oh, they don't have those anymore. Sonny,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. McDonald's doesn't even exist in Germany.
McDonald's actually closed all their stores in Germany.
That's what I was telling him, yeah. When I worked at Jurassic World, we had to evacuate the island once. That sucks, JT.
Why?
He worked at Jurassic World.
Oh. In your Mc uniform?
Yeah.
Sonny's like, he's not believing me. He's not going to believe us no matter what.
So is he using that same? Yeah, that's a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I got to get back to watching Tango and Cash. We got to finish this movie up.
All right, usual John, thanks for coming with and hanging out with us. Usual
No
Mike,
problem, usual Vern.
thank you for hanging out this week on the Toy Duo. You're welcome to come back anytime you want some more punishment.
Excellent.
Anyways,
I'm sorry again that I was late. Yeah, my alarm. I don't know. Maybe I didn't push like alarm on or something like that.
That's right. Yeah. All you missed was this was much darker. The sun hadn't come up yet.
Oh, I got you.
I'm surprised too, because it's after 8 and I haven't seen anybody wandering around yet.
I can hear him upstairs. I can hear him.
Oh,
They're probably just being like, "Oh, we won't walk behind Dad while he's on the stream."
Oh, you think that's it, or do you think they're like, if we go downstairs, they're going to make us do housework?
No. They definitely just don't want to be on camera. They'd be like, "Oh."
Okay.
Is the kitchen off to your side?
Kitchen
yeah,
over there,
right? Yeah.
Living room.
Someone
here.
could be making you eggs and pancakes right now.
I know, right, John?
What's going on?
All right, everybody in the chat, thanks for coming and hanging out with the Toy Duo this week. We were an hour later. We're going to return to our regular time, which is at noon on the West Coast, 3 o'clock on the East Coast. And for those of you on British,
7 or 8,
it's 8, I think.
7 for some people.
Europe or something. I don't know. I don't understand the time zones over there. It'll be at 5 o'clock in the morning if you're in Australia. And if Sonny said it was 4 where he was, then it will be 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry to have to make you wake up that early, but that's what time we do the Toy Duo usual.
So Sonny's in a whole different time zone from where Mike is too?
Yeah, 2 hours difference.
Wow.
So it's like right now it's 8:30 in the morning. For Sonny, it'll be 6:30 in the morning.
Gotcha. Wow.
All right, but anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in and hanging out and chatting along. And I hope I didn't miss too many people. And we'll see you next time.
Oh, you completely forgot about Orlando, the whole show.